Get Doris Day?
Yeah, that's right, Doris Day. That's exactly what I meant, Doris Day. You got it, Papa.
Hello and good morning and welcome to the one, the only, often imitated, never duplicated. It's the show. Christy Lee at the news desk.
Hi.
There's Pat Godwin in the performance room.
Hello.
There's Josh Arnold. I have a comment about your shirt. Hang on. There's Ace Cosby. Hey. There's Willie Griswold.
Hey, man.
You all right? I get choked up when I start talking about the show. You know that. I'm Chick, and here's Tom, and Josh is wearing my problem. I have a real problem with dark black and navy blue. I can't tell the difference. And I'm guessing that is that black?
This is navy blue.
That is navy. See?
Yeah.
I would have gone for black.
I would have gone for black, too.
I would say blue.
Well, you're always right, Joey. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's real dark. It's a real dark blue.
Okay,
it's new.
It's very nice, though. 2 pockets for
Is that
Thanks.
a colorblind, though?
No.
That's not blue, dark blue and black's not colorblind?
You ever wear a blue shirt thinking it's black when you're wearing something that it should have been black?
I know it's a fashion don't.
Yeah.
What
you
is-
ever have a fashion don't?
Don't
Tom?
care is the fashion
Well,
don't
you
for
should
me.
care. People are talking behind your back.
That let them.
Look at that fashion don't.
They're idiots.
Couldn't care less. Well, welcome to the program.
What size shirt is that you're wearing? Is that the double X?
I have no idea. It's
Rocking an XL over there.
off the rack.
What are you wearing? What are you wearing these days? 170, 175?
No, I
You're
would-
rocking the
XL?
double
I hope
double
so.
X?
Is that 45 XL? What is that?
52.
Got it.
This is very comfortable. It's all cotton denim. Thank you very much.
All right, sir.
Okay, that's the way
It's
I
the Jay
roll.
Leno shirt.
From Leno's garage.
Yeah, why doesn't he have denim shirts and stuff? He should do that. You know.
Oh,
once
like
he-
Sally? Yeah, why not?
I don't think Jay. What's the famous thing about Jay? He never actually
Spends his
had to
paycheck.
spend any of the cash he made on the Tonight Show.
Oh,
yeah, he
and-
only spends his touring money.
And they put him out though, right? He's not on fire anymore.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
Is this show from 6 months ago? Oh, there we are. Okay, we're here. I kind of liked our new feature we started yesterday, which is
6 months ago.
which was what we learned on yesterday's show. I think
We
we may
did that
we may
2
want
days
to
ago.
move
Oh, we
that
did?
segment.
Oh,
So we can talk about it here about yesterday's show.
that's not a bad idea.
So it'd be like when you watch your favorite HBO show, and in the beginning they just show you a little brief
yeah.
what
That's
happened last
idea.
week, and
Yeah.
you can choose to skip the intro. Will we give our fans the ability to skip through that, or?
That might be technically difficult,
Okay.
but we could try. We did learn a lot of interesting things yesterday. We learned about the ping pong ball in the old keister. Fatal. Very complicated story.
It wasn't the only thing up there.
Yeah, it has a lot going on.
There's a lady who's built a entire career on shooting things across the room.
With ping pong balls.
Well, but there's also, I'm guessing, a gentleman or a lady who uses the other orifice to
Possibly.
shoot things across the room. Absolutely.
No.
It's got to be out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it must be out there somewhere.
I'm sure. I'm
Bangkok somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm certain they probably have to, give the colon a good cleaning before because there might be an accident. But still,
I'll pass.
One night in
If we go back a couple of days,
everybody's a critic.
there was the proposition was put forward. Essentially, Ace agreed to, I think he agreed to do it, to do a so-called pressed ham against the glass for Mr. Godwin.
I
Said we
can't
couldn't
wait.
do it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how Ace spins this so he doesn't have to do it.
Well,
That's what
I
I'm
think
waiting
that
for.
a brief chat with HR, and we determined that this is not going to happen.
F those
why
people.
not?
Now, Pat, you were asked to write a song
Let me look here. Let me look.
about having Ace moon you.
Yeah, I wrote it.
Once again, pressing it up
Did
against
you?
the glass. Now, can we do the song as if this was had actually happened? Is that
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right.
Because Ace is right here. Here I sing. Here we
That's
go.
right.
Shine on Ace's moon. Against the glass. I can not unsee his big and scary, very hairy, pimply ass. Ace describes his butt as huge. Some say deluxe. Maybe Ace will flash his junk for another $10. All right. Yeah, I did write it. All right. Well, I got
Now, I'm
Everybody.
I'm guessing, Ace, your criticism is that your buttocks may be of a certain size, but it is not pimply.
No.
Yeah, that's just
nor Harry.
right. I just
nor
that
Harry.
isn't fun. No.
Okay, all right.
Well, Pat, Pat had to guess.
Yeah.
He wasn't actually given the opportunity to see
Poetic
it.
license.
I like
Do you have
it.
any stretch marks on your ass?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's kind of subject of the current Ted Lasso episode. Did you see it, Willie?
Oh, I didn't know, but yeah, I've got the tiger stripes, so I always like to look for my fellow brethren out there.
The subject is what? Hair on the
Hairy ass, yes.
Oh, that'll win an Emmy. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Man, it's a lovely show.
That should be a
Very
song.
sweet show.
Nobody.
They say arse here.
Should there be a song about a hairy ass?
Oh, he's talking about. There already is one, right, Ace?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
By an artist.
Oh, that's right.
Bush-Bottomed Girls by Queen. Sure.
Plus, I have a little thing for Josh coming up, a song that we dug out of the vault. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. Can we get a couple of sports headlines?
We had NBA playoffs continue last night. It was game one of the Eastern Conference Finals at the venerable Boston Garden. So much history, Tom. So many great players there at Boston. Unfortunately, none of them were present last night for the Celtics. That's right. The Heat win game one. Celtics lose at home 123-116. Of course, Miami had 1-0 in that best of 7. And tonight, Lakers and the Nugs in Mile High City. The Nuggets lead that series 1-0.
Ah, Willie, you're one game closer to $4,000.
I'm very excited about it. We're not going to talk. I don't want to jinx anything, but yeah,
right.
it's a
Wait a
very
second.
exciting time in the Griswold household.
Now, do the Heat have to win the whole thing?
They have
or
to win
just-
the NBA Finals, yes.
Oh, so okay.
The whole
that's-
enchilada.
They're
So
a
they
few-
have to
they're a
beat-
few games away. then.
Right.
They have to beat the Celtics 4 times, and then they have to beat either the Lakers or the Nuggets also 4 times.
What do you get for them just making the finals?
Nothing. I can cash out right now $300, and then that's still crazy profit. But I'd rather let it ride. Have a little fun this summer.
Let it ride. Let it ride.
Let it ride.
Also, Tiger Woods in sports is Aaron Judge. All rise, please. Is he cheating? People think he might be. Now, I thought when they caught the Astros, that was going to be it, and nobody else would cheat ever in Major League Baseball. We got rid of that. So that cleaning up the game with the Astros.
we got another Yankee cheating story today.
That's what I just
Just
said.
said.
Aaron Judge. That was amazing.
I was not listening. I was over here.
He was looking
Right at you.
me when I was talking. Aaron Judge.
Verbally responded to you.
Is he cheating?
I was actually looking for this. Sorry.
Oh, my God.
Your favorite, ladies and gentlemen.
No, please don't play him.
When a
please.
moon is hanging out a window, some imbecile is proud of his behind. You've now received way too much info, and the image is burned into your mind. There's nothing grosser than a man with a hairy ass. A man with a hairy ass. A hairy ass. A hairy ass. Doesn't help a girl's libido when you wear a tiny Speedo. You can make it look more dapper if you buy a good weed whacker. It's a problem that you must solve. Even the baboon is more evolved. A hairy ass. A hairy ass. When a girl is lying in a dark room, her brand new lover's naked in her bed. She runs her fingers down his body and lets out a scream that wakes the dead. Her hands are tangled up in his scary hairy ass. His scary hairy ass. A hairy ass. A hairy ass.
Sean Morey.
Well, that banjo really pops in that one.
That really adds to it.
Also in sports, I don't know if this is sports or not. It could be Christy. Listen to me, Tom.
Oh, sorry.
Big changes with the Oscar Mayer Wiener mobile.
I have that story.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't want you
Do you
guys
want me to
miss
give it to you? I can.
No, I've got it over
I'm
here.
not happy about it, by the way.
I know you're not.
It's going to look different, or
No. Well, we'll get to it. Also, coming up, an update from.
And by the way, Tom, are the Yankees cheating? We'll have that coming up.
Sorry, I was busy over here and wasn't listening.
You know, Chick, I heard the Yankees might be cheating, though.
That's what I heard.
We'll find out about that coming up. Also, a little song for Josh.
Come on, Tom. We're busting balls. Come on.
Okay, let's see now. What else was I going to get to? Oh, real quick, we've got some road work happening. It looks like Reno and Willie tonight at the Summit City Comedy Club in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And then Reno and Willie Friday and Saturday at the Dayton Funny Bone. Also, good friend of the show, Greg Morton, starts tonight at the beautiful Comedy Off-Broadway in beautiful Lexington, Kentucky.
Cool.
So some great live shows. We're going to have a great guest coming in this morning. Comedian Mike Birbiglia will be joining us. Mike happens to be, among many other things, featured in a Taylor Swift video that one of my little girls is very excited about. Speaking of being excited, HelloFresh is going to get you excited about eating again. How about eating some great food? And the secret to HelloFresh is, of course, fresh ingredients, and they do the shopping, so that takes a lot of the work out. And they do the measuring. You put these kits together and make delicious food every week. You've got 40 recipes to choose from. They got a special thing going on right now celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month with some amazing recipes created by Chef Serbi Sani from the famous New York City restaurant Tagmo. But also they've got just good old-fashioned, whatever kind of food you're into, let's put it that way, a classic comfort food or pescatarian or vegetarian dietary stuff. Check out the HelloFresh store, if you will, to see what's going on, because they also have hundreds and hundreds of snacks and sides and desserts. They call it the HelloFresh Market. The way it works is you go to HelloFresh.com/BTShow16 and find out what's going on. There's a code you'll need, which, of course, is BTShow16. You'll need it a couple of times to get and take advantage, I should say, of this special offer. 16 free meals and free shipping with the code BTShow16 at HelloFresh.com/BTShow16. Willie, you been working on something over there?
Yeah, check out the barbecue pulled chicken tacos with creamy slaw and red onion. HelloFresh sends you 8 ingredients. Put those together in 4 easy steps. In 20 minutes, you have this delicious taco dish you made at home with help from HelloFresh.
We had a delicious thing last week. They were the firecracker meatballs. Jess Hooker said she put them together in about 10 minutes. A delicious, delicious meal. Now, once again, check out the details. BTShow16 at HelloFresh.com/BTShow16. Coming up, we have, are the Yankees cheating again? And we have ruby slippers in the news. The ruby slippers, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Essential Morning Radio.
She's a mystery girl.
Yeah.
Thank you. No one knows what she's all about. She's a mystery girl. No one knows what she does. She says she doesn't have a job, but she drives a Ferrari and she lives in the nicest part of town. She's a mystery girl. No one knows what she does. She's always getting text messages right in the middle of our dates. She has to go somewhere right away. She's a mystery girl. And then she pays her bill all in singles. She comes home really late in the evening, says she's not in the mood for love, and she got rug burns on her knees. She's a mystery girl. No one knows where she's been. Once I found these weird fuzzy handcuffs in the top drawer of her dresser. She got a tattoo that says something that you can't say on the radio, but she's a mystery girl. All right, here's the bridge. She told me she was a virgin, but somehow mysteriously she gave me every kind of VD you can name. Oh, the pain of the mystery girl. She's a mystery girl.
Every time I call her up, her voicemail says Felicia can't come to the phone. But she told me her name was Lisa. She's a mystery girl.
Was that
Henry
Felicia?
Phillips.
We had a guy die there.
Oh, that's right. I know the story.
I've seen some bad shows, but
now this guy actually died. A comedian named Ron Douglas actually died.
He died stopped breathing. Died.
He stopped breathing. Died.
Did he die in the green room?
He died in the green room.
And everybody went home and didn't know that.
And Larry Reed was there, and I was there.
And you didn't know he was dead.
No, I thought he was sleeping.
So you left him there.
We left him.
So you all the second show. So you all went home.
We all went home. So he's dead on the couch.
So you get a call the next morning.
We get a call the next morning. And Larry answered the phone. We were both staying in the same condo. Larry answered. He just hear he beat me to the phone. He got there. And he says, "What? Who? Dead?"
That's Larry Reed.
This is all I'm hearing. What? Who? Dead?
That
could be the funniest thing I've ever heard in this room.
If you could do an impression of a guy with 3 words and nail it.
Who?
Dead. And I've got this look on my face of Larry like, what? He hangs up the phone, looks right at me, and says, "Frickin' Ron's dead."
That's it.
That was it.
Hey, this is Henry Phillips, and you're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7. Well, what else would you be doing with your time?
With us in the studio, comedian Chad Daniels. Your wife is a college professor.
Yes.
Are you a college man?
No.
Ah.
That makes for
interesting contrast.
And her friends always remind me of it.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Are they all college professors as well?
Most of them. We were out getting dinner one night, and her friends were like, "So, Chad, have you ever had Indian food?" And I was like, "Hello, Thanksgiving." Aren't you a history professor?
Yeah.
Didn't you know that? She has one friend from England that's always bragging about their language. We invented your language. You didn't have a language if it wasn't for us. Well, you spelled pneumonia with a P, stupid. Nat starts with a G, and you're bragging about that? And she goes, "You know what? They're silent. You know what? You better be silent before I stab you in your face with a knife."
Jim McHugh is our guest, recently married. We've established virtually nothing else about you. You're tall.
I'm tall.
I know you were very successful in the recent Boston comedy competition. Are you from Boston? Is that?
I'm a transplant. I'm from Connecticut, and
because
so
you don't
I'm
have
not really.
You don't have a discernible.
Yeah,
Boston
I don't talk like
accent.
a retard. You know what I mean? I talk wicked smart. I'm wicked smart.
Well,
hey, you don't sound like you're from around here.
Nice way to embrace the community.
These guys don't sound really smart around here.
Yeah.
It's really sexy with the women too. You know, which one of you retards is going to buy me a beer?
Bob and Tom 24/7. It's not on air. It's online.
Bob and Tom.
Hey, welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. Christy Lee at the news desk.
Hello.
There's Pat Godwin in the performance room.
Hello.
There's Josh Arnold.
Hey.
There's Ace Cosby with his A on his hat. Tom, remember who he is. There's Willie Griswold.
Good morning.
I'm Chick McGee, and here's Tom Griswold.
Yesterday we had a special event on the show. We had a letter from Paul in Jonesville, Virginia. You may recall his neighborhood had been hit by a tornado.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And he needed to be cheered up, so he asked for a special edition, early edition of the Ace Cosby joke of the day.
That was yesterday. That's nice to look back.
We have a follow-up. Good morning, writes Paul. A couple of my neighbors took off from work, and we got the roof back on my house. Fixed it up better than before.
Great.
I want to thank Ace for the early edition of the Ace Cosby joke of the day.
Okay, nice.
We also had time to repair the roofs of 2 elderly neighbors before we started with mine. And this is what a great guy.
That's great.
I motivated them.
I have an idea, fellas, for your show. I've been enjoying the Light and Lame show, the spin-off of the Bob and Tom show. How about the Hick and Hillbilly show with the Dickey brothers?
Well, we could do that. There's no problem. I tell you what, though, you better come up off that wallet if you want us to do more work.
That's right. We have a Patreon that we like to
sign us up. It's $40 a visit, and
we know times is hard out there. Sometimes there's more month than money, but you can do it.
I like that phrase. More a month than money. Paul in Jonesville, Virginia. Thank you. I'm glad you're doing better, Paul. And how nice of you to help your neighbors get a new roof after that
now
tornado.
we're going to rock it hard with some CC Rider.
Take it away, CC.
Go. Take it. CC. Well, hell, did you bring the record?
I thought I told you to.
Son of
Well, guess we're singing this one, too.
Pat, don't you have a...
I said see. See what you have done.
Pat, don't you have a tribute to being up on the roof?
Yeah, we did that last.
I know, I enjoy that very much.
I'm glad you were the one.
I'm the only one that enjoyed that?
I'm pretty sure.
Really? You're going to say you didn't enjoy it, Christy?
I don't remember being up
I don't remember up on the roof.
It was the goat to James Taylor up on the roof.
The goat, remember?
Oh, the goats on the
lonely
roof.
goat. That was,
the restaurant in
Poor
Wisconsin.
little
There's
goat.
goats on the roof.
Yeah. I guess we're not going to hear that one.
I can play something else.
Sorry.
How about some Frank Mills music box dancing?
I love that. If I only could play piano, then.
Well, now there's a topic. The worst instrumental in the history of the world.
Oh, that's up there.
Music box dancers, pretty damn close.
A hit record that is an instrumental.
Yeah.
Like by pop musicians, because plenty of jazz is all instrumental, and it's just terrible. I mean, there's a lot of great jazz.
Let's say top 40.
Yeah.
The Beverly Hills, the cop theme.
Oh, that's all right. I like that.
Is the last instrumental...
Nadia's theme, you remember that one?
Is Miami Vice theme, is that the last big hit instrumental? That was, what, 40 years ago or something?
Yeah, the 80s. So whatever that was, yeah.
Last big...
Love is Blue by Paul Morier or something. Moriant. Is that a hard
The Horse? Who did that?
Oh, yeah. That's Miss Pat's favorite song. The Horse.
What?
Yeah, she loves that. Or Miss Pat's mom.
Wait a minute. But we're forgetting the one we always talk about. Oh,
Chuck Mangione.
It says here the last instrumental #1 was Harlem Shake by Bauer in 2013.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that one.
I don't know that either.
That's the one
Yeah,
where
you do. Everyone made the video.
the NBA,
They
the
went
NBA
crazy.
teams, I remember that. They did the video.
Do the Harlem.
I didn't know we were #1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Is there still #1? I don't think there is a #1 anymore, is there? Or maybe
There's still a chart.
Is there?
Yeah.
The biggest selling instrumental single of all time was the Star Wars theme in the Cantina Band.
Biggest selling?
That's what it says.
Dueling banjos.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we can delve into that, but right now we have to delve into the world of sports with Chick McGee. What's
Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Buckets, Jimmy Playoffs. He scored 35 last night and led the Heat to a victory in Boston Garden. He had 20 after halftime, and the Heat rally in the second half. You know, Tom, it's not the heat, it's the humidity. Miami wins 123-116, beating Boston last night at the Garden. That was game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Miami trailed by 9 at the half.
Come on, man.
And the Celtics were posing and flexing and telling the Heat all about it. And then the wheels fell off. Boston had 66-50 over the final. Miami Heat outscored Boston 66-50 at the final 2 quarters. They scored 46 points in the third quarter, Tom.
Did you see Tatum get the late traveling violation? He does the, he takes the shot and he thinks he's doing an up down where he doesn't jump, but he ends up jumping, gets a travel call, and he just looks like a regular guy playing pickup. I forgot the rules of this game.
He looks like a guy at the Y. He's go, I dribbled twice. Damn it. Yeah.
One of the best guys in the league just making a silly mistake like that.
Very, very funny. Jason Tatum led the Celtics with 30. Jaylen Brown wearing the mask had 22. Malcolm Brogdon had 19. And Game 2 tonight between the Lakers and the Nuggets in Denver for the NBA Western Conference Finals. A Florida judge, Tom, has sided with golfer Tiger Woods in a legal dispute with his ex-girlfriend. Judge Elizabeth Metzger rejected late yesterday afternoon an attempt by Erica Herman, to throw out her non-disclosure agreement with Woods. Metzger called Herman's allegation that was a victim of sexual harassment vague and threadbare. She also said that Herman's questioning if whether she actually signed the agreement is also something that should be decided by the arbitrator.
Judge Elizabeth Metzger. Elizabeth is a weird name for a man.
This is all helping.
Herman has been suing Woods and the trust that owns his Florida mansion, seeking $30 million from the trust. Herman and Woods, they were together for about 5 years before they broke up in October.
Herman.
All right.
Again, whatever the circumstances, if you sign, I don't care who's, if you sign a non-disclosure agreement, shut up.
I think those days are over.
Then what's the validity of?
I know. I mean, murder.
They're just going to become more ironclad, I guess, or something. I don't know. I'm mentioning the non-disclosure is against the non-disclosure.
You would
right?
think.
I mean,
isn't that part of the deal?
Yeah. In our day, by gosh, you buy a politician, they stay bought.
Is this a bad thing, though? I don't think Mr. Rogers and, like, great dudes were out there making people sign NDAs all the time.
We don't know, though, do we? Because everybody back then shut their mouths.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't think Mr. Rogers was out there banging Stormy Daniels, but if he had been and she signed the thing, she'd shut up.
Maybe her mother.
Fred Rogers had the most extensive collection of erotic pottery known to man.
I doubt
you never heard about it. Because King Friday and Mr. McFeely, they all signed NDAs.
Exactly.
Mr. McFeely. In front of our eyes.
How do you get that nickname, huh?
Hiding in plain sight.
That's right.
The NDA King, they called him.
Chick, I am so entertained and delighted by the idea of erotic pottery.
Oh, yeah.
Are these pots that look like boobs? Are they vases that look like vajayjay? What are we looking at here?
I believe when you're a collector, the pottery has to have a function. So it can't just be a phallic. That would be silly. If you did have a phallus, it would have to have a large enough hole in the top so you could put some flowers in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
I think so.
No, I think you could have an artistic one in which it was sort of semi-erect, and in the testicular area there was a hole for the flowers, so they could kind of caress the emerging.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, it's artistic. Thank you.
Floral pubes.
That's how I think. Yeah.
Floral pubes.
Georgia O'Keeffe had some erotic pottery that really doesn't get the attention that it deserves.
No, yeah.
Subtle.
I mean, the
paintings. No, it's not.
The paintings of barn doors slightly open are fine.
Sure.
So let me ask you this: has this woman who's gone to court,
Miss Herman,
has she already violated the non-disclosure agreement?
I don't know. It only took 3 years of pre-law.
Because isn't she disclosing that? No, okay, sorry.
Because talking about it would be against the NDA, I would think.
Yeah. Oh well.
But what do I know?
Okay.
I'm just a goofball.
Did she cash the check?
I think she wants more money is her problem.
Yeah.
$30 million, is that what she said?
Part of it, I guess.
Part of it,
Wow.
Dude, give me $30 million. I'll shut up forever. Are you kidding me?
Well, I don't know,
but part of it.
As I've told your father, if he pays me, I won't even show up.
Yeah,
okay?
dude.
No problem.
Get me out. I'm eating ice cream all day, having the time of my life. I live with a bunch of dogs. They're my pals. We have a slide instead of stairs.
Sure.
Hell hath no fury, though. That's what this is.
Oh,
she feels jilted.
She's upset.
Well, I mean, in her defense,
speaking of
he did kind of. That was a horrible way to break up with somebody.
But if she signed an agreement,
do you hear something? Is that a car alarm?
There was a nice way to do that. He didn't have to treat her like a piece of meat.
Being nice isn't a legal issue.
Christy, some women are difficult.
What Christy's talking about is she showed up at the.
They said pack your bag for a vacation.
Right.
Shows up at the airplane.
No, he didn't show up. He sent his agent.
Right.
Right. And the agent said, hey, just so you know, this relationship's over.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
didn't even do it himself, the little...
Well, but none of that is legal.
Hey,
that isn't a legal issue.
Hey, Mrs. Herman, this is life in the big city. Hit the bricks, Ugga-Mug.
And yes, let's not forget the now immortal words of Ace Cosby.
What were they?
Some women are difficult.
It's true.
From the easy to get along with, always chivalrous Ace Cosby.
I can testify to that in a court of law.
Okay.
There you go.
I see.
Is it time for a song from Pat Godwin?
Well, sure.
Wait a minute.
How about
Have
the
you
roof thing,
ever
Pat?
broken up with somebody and not?
And not seen them?
Christy, you're right. It was cowardly.
Have you ever broken up with someone not face to face?
But that isn't
Sent
the
a
issue.
text or
Over the phone once, only a 1 month long relationship. That's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
I think.
It was cowardly, but when you're that rich, you can do things like that.
Yeah, you can have somebody in charge of your breakup.
Also, is anyone surprised with Tiger's background?
Good point.
But again, this is a legal issue. She signed an agreement
I know.
saying she wouldn't do this, and now she's doing it.
She is seeking $30 million, a whole enchilada from Tiger's Trust.
Oh, good luck.
So there you go.
See, she got greedy. If she'd asked for a couple million, he'd...
No. You always over ask. You ask for 30, and then when you get 8, you're
Yeah,
pretty happy.
That's
All
right.
right.
Yeah.
Or you
that
hit
good
him in the
lawyering?
face with a 2-iron.
I mean, that used to be the law. If you broke an NDA, somebody came to your house with a golf club.
What are you going to play for us, Pat?
Well, what? You caught me mid-sip.
Oh, I thought we'd agreed.
Hey, get a ticket over there, Godwin, if you did just sit and watch the show.
Okay, here,
It's a
Pat,
hell of a
when we
show.
come back, I'll tell you what, can you do one of my favorites, the sing-along? It's about a roof. Or at least it's based on the song Up on the Roof. You know what I'm talking about?
So you're not going to stop until he plays all of his failed songs.
You're
Is that
relentless.
what you're going to
This
do?
isn't a failed one. You know what I'm talking about?
The goat on the roof?
No, the other one. I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
I tried to tell you before the break started, but I ran out of time.
All right.
No, he was calling you.
No, that was me calling him.
That was you calling him.
Yeah.
In the future, Ace always yells out 30. Don't do anything after that. Just headphones
Sit
on
there.
after that.
Focus.
You can't go to the bathroom. You can't put equal packets in. You can't call Pat.
Well, see, what happened was Christy wasn't here for the end of the break.
That's the problem.
It's my fault.
So I had to scramble.
It's always my fault.
It's not always your fault. It just was that time.
Excuses.
I want to remind you, we got Willie G on the road tonight with Reno Collier at the Summit City Comedy Club, Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's going to be a great show tonight. Then you guys, Friday and Saturday at the Dayton Funny Bone.
If you go to my Instagram at willie.griswold, I've got a link with a link in my bio. All the ticket links are in there. Excuse me. Go check it out. It's going to be fun.
Get off your ass and see some live comedy. Okay?
Not how I said it.
Hey, let me say something.
Don't make us come out there, okay?
There's another one I want to mention. Our friend Greg Morton. Christy will back me up on this. There are certain acts that you have to see them live and in person, and when you do, you will thank me. You will thank Christy. Greg Morton is at Comedy Off Broadway, Lexington, Kentucky tonight and all weekend, and he will bring joy into your soul.
Mm-hmm.
And God knows we need it right now. But you know what brings joy into your ears?
Raycon earbuds.
That's right, Chick.
Damn right. Raycon's mission, here it is, to prove that you shouldn't have to pay an arm and a leg and maybe another arm and another leg for quality sound and all those essential smart tech listening features that we've all come to know and love. Raycon, you can get a pair and a spare. They're so affordable and still pay less than you would with some of those other big-name tech brands out there. Is there anything more depressing than having to go out and buy a gift for someone? No, I don't think so. So when you do go buy a gift, you can buy something for yourself.
Yes, make it a happy occasion.
That's right. Turn that frown upside down. You can't believe I got to buy this for that difficult.
You know, what Chick is saying is giving is overrated.
Yes,
Come
exactly.
on.
Unless you're giving to yourself.
That's right.
With Raycon, that's right. They have a buy now, pay later option. They have an easy and free, easy peasy, lemon squeezy return guarantee and free domestic shipping and flat fee international shipping. And over 50,000, and I think it's more, 5-star reviews. And, of course, the smart tech features 8 hours of playback, crystal clear call quality, criminy, and water and sweat resistant. So, and we've got a deal for you. Go to buyraycon.com/Tom today and get 15% off your Raycon order. That's buyraycon.com/Tom. 15% off your Raycon purchase. That's buyraycon.com/Tom.
No, thank you very much. We get love letters about the Raycons. We had a really huge letter the other day about how great they are. By the way, since I was talking about some of the comedians and stuff being out on the road, also out on the road coming up this Saturday at the Cameo Theater in Bristol, Virginia, it's Donnie Baker. He'll be making a cameo appearance. Hey, thank you very much.
We enjoy it.
I bet they hear that joke every GD week. We're coming right back. It's the Bob and Tom Show.
Text us at 888-262-8661. More Bob and Tom next. State law.
Behind me is the infield of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm here to give you some of the fashion do's and don'ts of the biggest party at the race. Let's talk footwear on race day. You want to wear something comfortable, something you can walk in, something not too expensive. My choice, the Nike Air Monarchs. They're in your garage, next to the lawnmower. Your dad wears them. Don't wear this. This is a Croc. I don't care if it's in sport mode. The holes do give you hilarious tan lines, but you don't want to get any trough juice on your little toesies. If you run into a man wearing these, run away. Any man wearing weatherproof boots at the track has a mind for destruction. He washed his face in the trough this morning. He's been drinking Mountain Dew and moonshine since 6 a.m. If you bump into him, give him a go Colts and keep it moving. What to wear on race day. In the morning, it'll be a little colder. This is my favorite piece of clothing that I own. Indianapolis Motor Speedway. No big deal. Any shirt with the name of an alcohol and the word racing is one of the coolest things you can wear here. This one's sort of a deep cut. Rolling Stone shirt. The concert took place at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Colt skier will do, but I say go the extra mile. This is a Colt shirt with a St. Elmo shrimp cocktail. I'm not a big fan of wearing sports jerseys for a team that is out of season. Colts aren't playing, and the Pacers also aren't playing. Quick rule for basketball jerseys at the race. You want to wear your Larry Bird Indiana State jersey? Don't. You want to wear your Reggie Miller jersey? Don't. Rick Smits? Don't. Paul George? Don't think about it. George Hill? Not at all. It's too expensive, too cool, and it's going to get covered in Busch Light. You want to wear a Lance Stevenson jersey. Any Pacer that was here less than 3 years. Maybe a Danny Granger jersey. If you're wearing a basketball jersey, pop it off around lap 50. I hear you. Willie, I have a gut. If you're embarrassed about being fat, move to France. This is America and you're allowed to have a gut. You're saying, Willie, I got pimples on my back. I got stretch marks. This time of the year, that's your stars and stripes, my friend. Pop it off and let that flag fly. This is the coolest thing you can wear at the race, an actual Indy 500 shirt. Bonus points if you have an armpit hole or some sort of fraying around the neck. There is one more acceptable shirt to wear to the race. This is what a race fan looks like. Garfield's creator, Jim Davis, is from Indiana. The most famous person from Indiana. Suck it, Greg Kinnear. On race day, you're going to want a nice hat. You can go with an official Indianapolis Motor Speedway hat, or you can go with a cooler Indianapolis 500 hat that I got on 16th Street from a guy selling tacos. Anything with the word Indy on it. I'd recommend a Colts hat or a Pacers hat. The coolest hat you can wear on race day, however, is a Late Night with David Letterman hat. Of course, owner of the Letterman Ray Hall team. I do not want to see a Jay's Garage hat. I don't want to see anything Team Coco. If you have a Daily Show hat and it's spelled D-A-L-Y like Connor Daly, that could fly.
And Tom Show on the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob and Tom.
Born in 1961, Enya, E-N-Y-A. And happy birthday, the great Trent Reznor of 9 Inch Nails.
Reznor. That was
Trent Reznor.
Wait, and don't let that distract you. I said 9 Inch Nails.
I like to pronounce.
Very, very hip. Trent Reznor.
Reznor makes him sound like a space alien. Zip Reznor.
You sound like a space alien, you old weirdo.
Bob and Tom in the morning and highlights all day long.
The Bob and Tom Show, weekday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern on Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hi, fellas. This is Floyd Tucker, the over-the-road trucker. You're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7, of course.
And now, a message from Bob and Tom Pharmaceutical Labs.
Honey, I brought Bill home with me. We're going to watch the game. Can you make us some sandwiches and bring us a couple of cold beers?
Well, sure, sweetie. Can I get you anything else?
Not right now, baby. I'll let you know.
Hey, Jerry, I can't help but notice your wife sure seems happy these days.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
You're not kidding. I mean, she used to be such a, so mean and so depressed all the time.
Not anymore. Now she loves to cook and clean, and our lovemaking has been incredible. I mean, she can't get enough of it. She's like Betty Crocker in the kitchen and Paris Hilton in the sack, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Hey, what's making her so happy?
Well, she was on all kinds of drugs and antidepressants, Prozac, Paxil, Wellbutrin, Librium, Valium, but none of these seemed to work. Then we found this new drug.
What's it called?
Sleazium.
Sleazium? That's right. Sleazium. Sleazium has complex proteins and molecular protease inhibitors to control mood swings. Sleazium also contains a compound with skank factor enhancers that drastically increase your lady's libido.
And since Sleazium contains time-released amphetamines, you wouldn't believe the energy she has. Last week, she built us a new patio deck.
Sleazium? Wow. Sounds like a pill I need to get for my wife.
Honey.
Yes, dear.
I've got an idea. After the game, why don't you boys go down to the strip club? I thought I'd change the oil in your truck and clean the gutters. But hurry home. I'll be waiting.
See what I mean? She's happy when she does her chores. She cooks and cleans and mops the floors. And when we get behind closed doors, ooh la la. Thank you, Sleazium. Thank you, Sleazium. Honey, that dinner was great. Lobster bisque, turkey and dressing, medallions of beef. Boy, am I stuffed.
Well, I hope you're not.
Your platforms, there's a link to that program.
Hey, welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. Christy Lee is at the news desk.
Hello.
There's Pat Godwin in the performance room.
Hey, chick.
Hey, there's Josh Arnold.
Hi.
There's Ace Cosby.
Howdy.
Willie Griswold's over there.
Good morning.
I'm Chick McGee, and here's Tom Griswold.
The world is confusing right now.
Yeah.
Or at least I am confused. And we were trying to get a song from Mr. Godwin over there. And I was thinking there was something about this roof thing.
So he goes out in the hallway. He goes, Pat, why don't you do that roof song? And Pat goes, what roof song? And he goes, the one about the roof.
Well, it turns out, you see, the catalyst for this, if you will, is our friend, our farmer friend, who we heard from earlier, whose part of his roof was blown off by a tornado, and he was helping his neighbors fix stuff up.
Right.
And I thought, in his honor, we could play one of Pat's parody songs about the roof. But I was thinking it was a parody of Up on the Roof.
So wait a minute. So a salute to the tornado that destroyed this guy's home?
No, to the good soul, Paul, that was helping his neighbors fix their roofs, a farmer helping his friends, which is a great thing.
Right.
But a tornado destroyed a house.
Yeah, they took something tragic and they turned it into something.
But it turns out, so I was thinking that one of my favorites from Pat was his Up on the Roof parody. Turns out that was kind of
Yeah, it's the same group, but you were thinking of Josh's porn addiction.
Yeah, and what song is that?
That's Down at the Porn Shop, Under the Boardwalk by the Drifters.
Under the Boardwalk.
Same group.
So see where he gets this.
First off,
I know. I didn't mean to say porn addiction. I meant love of porn.
There is a difference.
You're an aficionado.
Because I need it doesn't mean I'm addicted.
People don't like their addictions. This one's fun.
So, the point of the story is, I'm sorry, can we hear that tribute?
Sure.
This is for the Good Samaritans that are helping their neighbors.
He's still set.
Post-tornado, okay.
Back in 97, way before Josh could stream.
Oh, here we go.
We'd have to go to Spanky's for a Penthouse magazine.
Wait a minute, is this the tornado one? Or
not? Down at the porn shop.
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah. To a nasty rundown building off I-65. Help me sing.
Down at the porn shop.
The creepy clerky smile.
Down at the porn shop.
Where's the big booty aisle?
Down at the porn shop.
His mom has many concerns.
Down at the porn shop.
When she makes his returns down at the porn shop. A porn shop. Oh, looking around the place. Oh, Josh can't believe his eyes. Videos of butts and boobies, every color, every size. Down at the porn shop, way back in his youth. Oh yeah, where he took his pants off in the video booth. All right, let me hear you sing.
Down at the porn shop.
It ain't so discreet.
Down at the porn shop.
Your butcher's beating the meat.
Porn.
Joshua won't leave the house.
Porn shop.
Doesn't need a hooker or spouse. Down at the porn shop.
Porn shop. Thank you very much.
Okay.
How did I end up
Sending that out to our farmer friend in Jonesville, Virginia, Paul. I know, Paul, that has nothing to do with you being a good Samaritan and fixing the roofs of your neighbors, elderly neighbors' houses, but I tried to squeeze it in.
You know, the one about the roof? A boardwalk is a roof, right?
They're both made of partially made of wood.
See, it's the same group.
Maybe
That's
it's
how I
wooden
got
shingles.
There's something wrong with your brain.
Both of them.
Godwin was kind of a victim in that.
Yeah, but he figured out what Tom was trying to say.
Oh, yeah. Well, you spend enough time with Tom. I said, you start to speak idiot.
Yeah, I speak idiot. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Tom. What are you trying to say?
Well,
that is a classic, and it is fun to sing along, isn't it?
It is nice. And I first of all, I congratulate you on your honesty, Josh. The story about you having your mother return a pornographic DVD for you. That's a brave man.
Well, thank you. Then just to get the details right, it was a couple cassettes.
Oh, cassettes.
Yeah, video
sorry.
cassettes.
Okay. Nevertheless.
Was then any of your other brothers enthusiastic about adult cinema?
No, not really. Not that I know of, at least.
Do you remember the titles that your mom had to return that first time?
I do. I remember one because she looked at me and she said, "What?" She looked at the cover and she goes, "So what is unnatural sex?"
oh, man.
Jeez, Mom.
Was it sex with dogs?
Anal.
Is it sex with dogs?
Christy said.
You got to go to a real special place to rent those.
That would be unnatural.
That certainly would. You have to go to.
Would also,
You have to go to Bad Boy. Bad
You're
Boy.
right there, Christy. That was on us.
I don't care what the girl looks like. Am I right?
Sure.
Yes.
Pat, where would you go to rent a movie like that?
Bad Boy. Bad Boy.
You know, I visited my mother one time, impromptu, and on the top of her television, she didn't have time to clean it, was I can shut my eyes and see it. It was a video cassette called Dildo Lovin' Lesbians, is what the name of the movie was.
So she lived alone, or
No. She lived with a gentleman.
Oh, okay. So they had been watching.
You think they were watching it together?
It was the living room.
Man.
That's nice.
Where you greeted people when you came into your home. There it was.
I can't go into any details, but
That's amazing.
someone else was living in a property that I sort of was owning, and the bill for the whatever it was, cable TV came.
Uh-huh.
And they had a roster, if you will, of movies that had been rented. This was in the earlier days of pay-per-view.
Oh, boy.
So when your bill would arrive, it would have, each pay-per-view thing, including the title.
What did Haywood end up? I mean, what did this person?
It wasn't Haywood. It was his son.
No, it wasn't one. But this particular person, you could just tell from the titles, a very specific
Fetish?
type. Not a fetish,
gotcha.
just a type.
Oh.
I really can't go into any more of the details.
Okay.
But it was very funny. The titles were rather amusing. That's all I'm saying. I probably can't say anything else without getting in trouble. So,
Well, then let's change the subject, shall we?
very specific.
Yeah.
Now,
let's do that.
we turn now to Chick McGee. You'll find him over there at the sports desk.
Well, more sports coming up,
Okay.
including are the Yankees cheating? I don't know if you heard that or not. Actually, in two areas. Is Aaron Judge cheating? And is Domingo Herman
That was the one I was referencing.
He has sticky hands.
Yeah. And then coming up, speaking of sticky, ruby slippers in the news.
And your little dog, too.
Yeah, one of the famous pairs of ruby slippers has been recovered. And can you grab that?
Hello, Bob and Tom Show.
Hey, fellas.
Hey, Floyd.
I've enjoyed your Ruby Slipper program.
We haven't really gotten to it yet.
And boy, I kicked a shine hearing Pat play that roofing song.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it.
Well, you know I can't work on my roof like I used to.
Oh, no?
No, I got the shingles.
Oh, hey.
Boy, it's nice to finally see Prince Harry getting some press, isn't it? I'll hang up and listen to you.
All right, yeah. The spare is getting some attention.
God, Gary.
Yeah. Yeah, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Chased by the paparazzi.
How dare you look at me? Okay, we'll get to that dumb story
that's really
coming up. Right now, we have Mr. McGee, and we're coming back with some interesting stories in the world of sports.
Yes, we are.
Including sports and the Dust Devil. Got to support the Dust Devils. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Thanks for listening to the Bob and Tom Show this morning. Even though we're not too much to look at, you can also watch the show on our YouTube channel.
Hey, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there?
Really good, Sam. A little happier. Are
we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
You sound like you're taking a big shit.
We're not supposed to be happy when we're asking if we're there.
Are we there yet?
Okay. The producers are in here. The minions are out there.
Okay.
Dad, would we say, are we there yet? We're like, are we there yet?
Superiority once again underscore.
Okay, Hitler.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Hey, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there?
Diction. Are we there yet?
Are we there yet?
This is not English class.
Dad,
That much of a T.
you sound like Mrs. Marshall. That's who you sound like.
I hope Mrs. Marshall doesn't have a voice as deep as mine.
And she teaches music too. And you're like, are we there yet?
I hope her voice is half as mellifluous and as witty.
Okay, now it's like my English teacher, mellifluous.
Quit making up words.
Here we go. Let's go. Try it again.
Let's get back to the Chinchilla. We sent members of our staff plus Donnie Baker to your garage.
She is
my mistake.
So traumatized right now. She's not come out of her little house in a
No doubt.
whole
The
day.
Chinchilla.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
that's because she met Donnie Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
True. Her ears are as big as frisbees.
They are very big.
I know.
I can't get over how
They're
horribly...
native of South America, and they use those to, and they're nocturnal, so they
Must be a lot of listening going on.
They do a lot of listening at night.
The size of those
because
ears.
you can't see very well.
And they respond, of course, with their brain by going, duh. I'm a Chinchilla.
Oh, wow, it's that great big thing right there.
That looks like a really nice fur coat that lady's got on. I wonder what that's made of. Duh. Well, I'm gonna rest for a while so I can poop again. Duh.
I can tell you.
I'm not like a dog. I can't play frisbee or catch. I just sit here going, duh. I'm kind of like something in a frame, like a picture, except I just go, duh, and then I poop.
Except you have to feed me and I poop.
I'm like a picture you have to feed. Duh.
I can tell you what, they don't come when you call them. That's for damn sure.
I will. I'll come if you call me. Sexual harassment, vague and threadbare. I'm Chick McGee, and that's your Bob and Tom Sports Update.
Hey, hi, this is Tom.
And this is Chick from the Bob and Tom Show.
Hey, Christy, what's the best way to get full access to the show?
Hey, what? You introduced me.
That would be to become a Bob and Tom VIP.
Very good. Now, Josh, what's a feature of Bob and Tom VIP?
Wait a minute.
Well, the live 5-camera video stream of the show, plus a podcast of the show and comedy from the Bob and Tom archives.
Excellent. Chick, what do you have to say for yourself?
Become a Bob and Tom VIP now. Just go to bobandtom.com/VIP.
VIP.
See, that was worth the wait, wasn't it?
Hi, this is Bobcat Goldthwait, and you're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
Comedian Scott Dunn is here with us. Do you have any current thoughts on religion?
I'm pondering a religious question, and maybe you guys could help me with it.
All right.
Buddha, Jesus, and Muhammad.
Yeah.
Who do you think would be the funniest comedian?
Buddha.
Buddha has some big advantages. He's fat. People love the fat joke.
That's true.
Now, Jesus, though, I think Jesus would make a great nightclub comic.
You think?
Well, you remember the miracle where he turned water into wine?
Yeah. Sure.
This is clearly a guy who knows his stuff is funnier when people have been drinking.
Yeah.
I think he'd probably start off a little hacky, though. Hey, it's nice to be here. Just played a leper colony. Great audience. They laughed their butts off.
Thank you. Gotta have that.
Seriously, though, where is everyone tonight? I've drawn bigger crowds for a crucifixion.
Oh, wow.
Hey, let's hear it from my opening act, Peter. Not funny. Woo. After that set, I'm going to deny knowing you. Halfway through your act, Judas left to go hang himself.
Wow.
Hey, look, Herod's in the audience tonight. John the Baptist called. He wants his head back.
That's great.
My big concern with Jesus, though, as a comedian, could he handle a heckler?
I don't know.
I think he would start off okay. He'd be doing his bits, and, a woman would yell, "Walk on water." He'd turn the other cheek. "Ma'am, I'm just doing new stuff tonight." And, he'd start his another bit, So my rabbi says, free fish, free bread, and you call yourself a prophet? Boo! Your new stuff sucks.
Walk on water.
Jesus snaps. Lady, here's some bread. Pretend it's my body and eat me. I've cast demons into hogs that were less obnoxious than you. If the town wants to stone you for being a whore, I will personally cast the first stone. The only awkward thing would be at the end. I think the audience would just sit there waiting because they know Jesus is going to encore.
Sure.
They just don't know when.
Hey, don't say we didn't warn you. There's laughter ahead.
You guys want to grab lunch?
We can't go anymore.
Holy
That's
cow.
a good day's work, everybody.
This is Bob and Tom 24/7.
Jeff Rothband is our guest. Jeff is a fine comedian.
I actually had to do that once.
What?
Be a pallbearer. And that,
Oh, my
that's
God.
heavy.
Yes,
That's a
it's
heavy
heavy.
job.
Yeah, I actually had to go to a funeral, and I was asked to be a pallbearer, and I always a pallbearer.
Never the corpse.
You know you're too high when you're eating cereal naked and your girlfriend tells you to put some clothes on. You realize it's not your girlfriend. It's just a woman on a bus. That's how you know you're too high.
Bob and Tom 24/7.
Welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. Christy Lee at the news desk.
Hello.
There's Pat Godwin in the performance room.
Hey, chick.
There's Josh Arnold.
Hi there.
Hi. There's Ace Cosby. Hey. Willie Griswold over there.
What up, big dog?
I'm Chick McGee. How about you? Here's Tom Griswold. Hello, Tom.
Thank you very much. I've got some cool stuff coming up. We're going to be joined later on by comedian Mike Birbiglia. Birbigs. Veteran stand-up comedian, actor, director, and we're going to look forward to talking to him. I'll look forward to it right now. But first, we have Chick McGee. I can see him. He's right there.
There was trouble a couple days ago. Yankees slugger, the one, the only, Aaron Judge.
Here come the Judge.
That's right. He may have put pitch tipping and sign stealing back in baseball spotlight, both of which are parts of the game. The Blue Jays allege that a Yankees coach was spying on pitcher Jay Jackson's grip and then relaying that info to Judge. Judge disagrees with that story, and he says that he and the Yankees did nothing against the rules. Both sides might be telling the truth. Even if a coach or teammate was studying Jackson and sharing info via hand signals to Judge in the batter's box, the Yankees may not be in violation of any Major League Baseball rules.
I wouldn't think so.
In fact, legal sign stealing and pitch tip hunting have been part of the game for generations.
Right. This is nothing.
Except Houston Astros, of course. They
Well, they
went
were
above
doing-
and
They were doing
beyond.
There's
a
a
little more.
That's
book
right.
now about the
That's right.
elaborate methods they were
Yes.
cheating.
Yes.
Sending signals with
Glad
drums.
they caught
and-
that.
Okay.
I thought in baseball now it was essentially, if your signs are stolen, it's your fault. You hide them.
Yeah, do better.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you, Christy. Well,
Don't you steal signs? They take you in the dugout and hit your hand with a hammer, right?
That's right. Exactly.
Now,
the dealer wasn't in on it. He was just lifting his card way too
That's
high.
right. Yeah, way too high.
I thought since we're talking about the Yankees, we would hear this from a great comedian, Doug Stanhope.
With us in the studio, comedian Doug Stanhope. I wanted to talk about something fairly mundane, actually, with Doug. You hate baseball. Am I correct?
Baseball players they look like cops so much. They're so they're so joyless.
You out of your mind?
But no, you watch any other sport and they're happy and they're pumping up the crowd, they're high fiving. And baseball guys, they just look so joyless and smug, and they just sit there in the dugout and they look like cops. You know how someone gets pulled over, they have no registration, and you need 9 officers, and they all stand around with their arms crossed and self-important looking. No joy in their face.
So what do you do during? Because I can tell you love.
I'll bet on baseball because I think that's the only reason people watch it is because it's the only thing on in the summer. I hate the Yankees. That's the only reason I watch baseball is to hope the Yankees lose, and I guess that's probably a miserable. Just because they buy their team and their fans are so obnoxious. Like if you're gonna just be cheering in the stands, pick an underdog and have some character. If you have money on the game, it's different. That's like having stock in a company.
Yeah.
But if you're just gonna be a loudmouth, beer-fueled ass bag in the stands, pick the underdog. Rooting for the Yankees is like going to a casino and cheering for the house. You're already supposed to win. You're standing behind the blackjack table going, "Oh, dealer busted your ass, bitch. Oh, that's my dealer. I got my dealer jersey on."
There you go. A little bit of Doug Stanhope rooting for the house. Thank you.
We're not done with the Yankees. Yankees pitcher Domingo Germán ejected from the game against the Blue Jays on Tuesday night after umpires deemed him to have an extremely sticky substance on his right hand. Umpire Chief James Hoy told reporters after the game his hand was clearly shiny on the palm and his fingertips, and it was extremely sticky. It was the stickiest hand I've ever felt. The sticky hand, he's easy to manipulate the baseball.
Want to take this?
Yeah, it happens in baseball. Oh, I see what you're doing.
Is your hand ever sticky like that, John?
No. Is your sperm sticky?
Oh no, I meant.
We know what you meant.
I meant syrup on pancakes.
Oh, yeah, that gets very sticky. Yes. Yeah.
Is sperm sticky? I mean, if you let it.
No, not really.
So that's all you do is eat and masturbate in his house.
According to him, yes.
I said nothing about masturbation.
Oh, wait, no, because in his hat, there's also prostitute, so you got to put that in there.
There's that. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I say, did you bring the syrup and the Bisquick?
Is this me talking to the prostitute?
Yes.
We have syrup in
You
the
speak to her
news.
with an English accent.
Well, I like to role play.
Sorry.
Make it classy.
I don't know why we're doing this story because I don't think this is a story at all.
All right.
Video of a teenage umpire in Florida is going viral.
Oh, it's great.
It shows the young umpire rescuing, which is a strong word for what was going on, a youth baseball player from what's called a dust devil.
Oh, I saw that.
That spins around, and
Yeah.
the kid didn't know what to do, so we went up, grabbed him, and walked him away from the dust devil.
It's like a mini tornado.
But it's just sand.
But it's not.
dust.
We used to play in those.
It's not 130 miles an hour.
Yeah, you
it's just a dust devil.
He was getting rocks in his face.
No, you don't. It'll knock you on your ass.
And
maybe.
it passes in seconds.
Wait a minute! I didn't know he was getting rocks in his face.
This kid he's the catcher, and all of a sudden this dust devil hits. I mean, it looks like this little mini tornado, and admittedly, it's not like it was going to carry the kid off to Oz. I get it. But the umpire turned around, went back, and grabbed the kid and pulled him away from it. It was a nice thing.
Nice of him, yeah.
But by the way, if you can't navigate
right,
maybe, you don't deserve to be here.
They're kids. They're kids at a game that's confusing and
good. The
Confusing.
ump helped him. That kid could have got a boo-boo.
Okay.
The 17-year umpire Aiden Wiles can be seen grabbing 7-year-old Bauer Zoya and carrying him to safety.
What's a confused 7-year-old kid? He's doing the right thing.
17-year-old told First Coast News that the rock scratched up his torso as he tried to get out of the way.
I don't know about that.
But he wound up running back in when he saw the catcher needed help. He said the players seemed to be in shock.
Have you seen the video, Chick?
Yeah.
It's pretty freaky, man.
No.
This little kid is really confused.
No.
He's holding his
I disagree
eyes
strongly.
It looks like this little mini tornado. Poor little guy. He's 7 years old.
He's fine. He would have been fine if he would have been pelted continuously for hours by this strong breeze. He would have still been.
That's right. It was a breeze.
It was a breeze.
It was a dust devil. Which, by the way, dust devils, would that be a great name for a team, wouldn't it?
I'm surprised. I'd be surprised if there wasn't one out there
It has to
somewhere.
be one.
Is that not the name of a vacuum?
Dirt devil.
Yeah.
Oh, Dirt Devil. Got it. My bad.
Very good. It's just a sweet little story. Some kids having fun, but little 7-year-old.
This is your average dust devil,
This lasts
man. This is
2
like
seconds.
It's nothing.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Kid's 17, though. I would have ran away from that thing.
A rock scratched up his chest and stomach. I don't know. It didn't.
Did you add that, or was that in the story?
Maybe
It was just in this.
Maybe the kid's just a crybaby.
He's 7.
Maybe he is.
Oh, okay.
We seriously, did you ever have those when you were growing up?
Yeah, we thought
we
they
used
were
to
fun.
run into them.
Yeah, we thought they were fun.
Yeah, we were amazed by them.
Okay, well, sorry.
That's when we were kids. By
It was
God,
a fun story.
what
Apparently
was
not.
what?
You guys probably wouldn't buy the kid ice cream after the game. Well, that just shows.
No, only winners got things after the games.
Yeah, you win, you get
that
ice
was for
cream.
big games. It wasn't for every game.
You didn't get ice cream after the game?
Only if you
Every
won.
game?
Won, you did, yeah.
You know what you got after the game if you lost? Talking to.
Yeah.
That's what you got. Maybe you guys would try
That was
harder
part
next
of.
time.
That's one of the reasons that we're good people. We used to have to sit there and watch the winners eat ice cream.
First of all, the
Absolutely
premise
true.
that we're good people, I find mildly amusing.
Oh,
Let's move.
I didn't mean to include.
And Josh, I did feel that slide on my generation there. It's not like us kids were buying ourselves.
Willie,
ice
I know.
cream
It's
after
not
we
your fault,
lost.
dude.
It was you guys that bought us the ice cream.
Not me, but yeah.
Not all of us.
So we're to blame.
Willie, you're right. Something happened with the boomers where they
Yeah.
they
But
all
people-
got scared that their kids were going to feel things.
Yeah.
People always go, man, these kids all got damn participation trophies.
Yeah.
The kids didn't make the trophies.
No, you're exactly right.
That's right. It's the trophy manufacturers. That lobby.
It's whoever. It's what. I can't let my kid feel anything but great.
Oh.
It's those parents that
You're
are
missing
blame.
Yeah, and then you can't
What's the
deal with
point?
life.
The point is, ice cream is great. So after the game, you've been sitting there as a parent for an hour and a half. Look, if I had to sit through this, I'm getting ice cream.
So I guess the point is you want ice cream.
Oh, see, the parents.
Right, I do. Have you ever had ice cream?
The key to being a parent is to get the ice cream while the kid's on the field.
Yeah.
You enjoy it. You save money.
Yeah, don't get ice cream.
You
Just
don't
drink.
have to share it with some snot-nosed
Just drink
brat.
whiskey out of a flask during the game like a regular dad.
Yeah.
Exactly. Your kids can do without.
And
Yes, they
maybe if
can.
the kids see you eating ice cream and they lost the game, maybe that'll be a strong.
Yeah, they'll, oh, hey, I got to win next time.
Tom can't lose.
Are any of your girls in those leagues that don't keep score?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my
My
God.
7-year-old, yeah.
You know what? Those leagues that don't keep score, somebody's keeping score. Okay?
Oh, of
the
course.
The kids know what the score is.
Yeah. But in any event, these little guys deserve some ice cream. Playing some
If they win,
baseball,
you're
having
right.
some
If
fun.
they win, you're right.
Okay, no, everybody deserves ice cream. Okay.
No. Ice cream is a privilege, not a right.
Okay.
That's why it's called a treat.
Yeah.
Now, I do know
Exactly.
this. You can no longer bring homemade anything to these games.
Oh, no.
Well, that makes
God,
sense.
no.
Everything has to be
That
store
makes
bought.
sense.
Well, that does make sense.
Well, they want to make sure that
That's because you
the
got
kids get
weirdos
plenty of preservatives and no one gets near a peanut.
That's because you got weirdos like Josh, who is in a neighborhood full of kids by himself baking sweets and they all have peanut allergies. And you don't know. You're
The neighborhood kids love my brownie basement, and I will not have you.
Come on, kids.
It's great.
Brownie basement.
The brownie basement,
Yes.
the random pill
Don't
drawer,
knock over the tripods.
Just don't touch the cameras.
the razor blade bag.
The lights get hot after a few minutes, so let's hustle.
Put on your shorts.
Is that sports?
Well, if you have a brownie basement, you probably need some form of security, don't you?
Absolutely.
Security. That's where Simply Safe Home Security comes in. You design it yourself. You install it yourself if you want. Simply Safe, enjoy greater peace of mind when you're on vacation, let's say, knowing your home is monitored around the clock by trained agents ready to defend your home against break-ins, fires, and other threats, like maybe Josh is your neighbor. With the top-rated Simply Safe app, stay connected from anywhere, anytime. You can arm or disarm your system remotely, right there from your smartphone app. Check your cameras to make sure everything's okay. Simply Safe ships right to your door, easy to set up yourself in about 30 minutes. Or, yes, you can have Simply Safe's certified technicians install it for you. With financing through a firm, secure your home today and just pay installments over time that fit your budget. Customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplysafetom.com. Go today. Claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off your order with interactive monitoring. That's simplysafetom.com. Remember, there's no safe like Simply Safe.
Thank you very much. Coming up, comedian Mike Birbiglia will be joining us. I'll also remind you that tonight, Willie and Reno Collier, Summit City Comedy Club, Fort Wayne, Indiana, and then Dayton, Ohio's Funny Bone, Friday and Saturday with Reno and Willie G. And how do you get tickets for those, Willie?
Yeah, go to willie.griswold on Instagram. There's a link in my bio, and you can buy tickets there. Come check us out.
Also, our good friend Greg Morton at Comedy Off-Broadway, Lexington, Kentucky, and Donnie Baker will be making a cameo appearance, by definition, at the Cameo Theater of Bristol, Virginia, coming up on Saturday night. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Hey, hi. We're hanging out with comedian Ron Ramey. Chick McGee doing double duty. Chickster, anything else?
What's the most dangerous thing about starting a new relationship with a girl, fellas? That's right. What kind of pet does she have?
I was going to say finding out she's a psycho.
And what does it mean about her?
Well,
maybe depending on the kind of pet, you can tell she's a psycho right away.
This is from holytaco.com. If she has a big dog, what she thinks it says about her. I'm not like those other girls with their tiny yappy dogs. I'm a strong, confident, independent woman who's making it in a man's world.
I see.
I love big dogs, though.
What it really says about her is a big dog says, I want a boyfriend. I want a boyfriend. I want a boyfriend. I want a boyfriend. Really? What the pet is thinking is, please stop using me as a body pillow and grinding on me in the middle of the night. I'm not your boyfriend.
You took a perfectly good story.
There's no grinding.
No grinding?
A small dog.
Okay.
What she thinks it says, I'm not just adorable. I'm really adorable. I'm so adorable that I have a living accessory. All the cool people are doing it. I'm just like a famous celebrity. What it really says, I want to be exactly like Paris. So if you're looking for a stupid, annoying, talentless woman like Paris Hilton with a little dog, I'm your girl.
Really?
Well, maybe it says, I like a little dog.
What does the pet think?
What the pet thinks is, if that purse she carries me in is full of used condoms again today, I'm going to bite her.
I miss my ex-wife.
This is a mean website.
Here's a cat. What if she owns a cat? What she thinks it says, I'm responsible enough to care for another living creature, but I don't want to have to pay a lot of attention to it. That's why I have an animal that I could potentially leave alone for a few days, and it would be just fine. What it really says, having a cat, I don't like having guys spend the night at my house, so I adopted one of nature's ninjas to scare off any non-regular visitors using a razor-sharp pounce attack in the middle of the night.
Ouch.
What the cat is thinking, come on, dude, that I'm not familiar with, show me something dangly. I dare you. What she thinks it says, owning a fish. Fish tanks are sexy. I know this is just a small bowl, but it still oozes sex. This fish depends on me, and if it lives past the first day, people are going to know that I'm responsible enough to take care of another life. What it really says, one time I had sex with a biker in the parking lot of a county fair, and he spent $26 winning me this goldfish to remember him by. I forget his name, but I call the fish Nemo.
Okay.
What the pet is thinking, that whore hasn't fed me in 6 days. My water looks and smells like a sewer. And finally, a parrot, what she thinks it says, I enjoy having a pet that's interesting and intelligent. I am an exotic person, so I have a pet that reflects my personality. What it really says, if you own a parrot and you're a girl, my grandpa died recently. He was known locally as the crazy bird guy. So he left me this temperamental, awful bird to remember him by. What the parrot is thinking, squawk, F you, F you.
Yeah, why?
Shortly thereafter,
You again?
I need more coffee.
It's impossible.
Okay, but it is possible that you want me.
No. Good night.
2 minutes after that,
Go away.
Stalker's Choice Coffee. The coffee is so good, he'll come back again and again and again.
Coffee. More coffee.
Go away.
I need some coffee.
I'm going to call the police.
You want it so bad.
I'm calling 911.
You want it so bad.
Stalker's Choice Coffee. Share some with a neighbor. Stalker's Choice. It's what obsessive-compulsive relationships are made of.
Hey, everybody, this is Jimmy Pardo. You recognize my voice from the show and my face from television. You are listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hey, guys, it's Eli.
Hey, Eli.
Oh, hi,
Hey,
Eli.
You nailed it, Patty. It's about as low as it gets. You know what, Eli? You're just feeling sorry for yourself. Look, I was thinking, there's no need to get down. I mean, just because you're grounded at work don't mean you can't gain yards. I've got a fresh, hot Papa John's pizza you could run by the house. God knows you wouldn't want to try to pass it. You'd probably get picked off by the mailman. Oh, yeah.
Here's one of the fattest things you've ever done.
I ate a pie in a car.
By myself. The apple pie that we had, it was so thick and beautiful. I just ate it like a piece of pizza.
Wait a minute. So you ate a pie by cutting it into triangular pieces and eating it one by one?
Like
what a weirdo!
Like a pizza. No, like without a fork is what I meant. You pick it up and you eat it like a piece of pizza. You dick.
All day, all night, all Bob and Tom. This is Bob and Tom 24/7.
Welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. Christy Lee at the news desk.
Hi.
There's Pat Godwin in the performance room.
Hello.
There's Josh Arnold.
Chick.
There's Ace Cosby. Howdy. Willie Griswold's here.
Good morning.
I'm Chick McGee, and here's Tom Griswold.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Tom.
Coming up, we'll be joined by good friends today, comedians Al Jackson and Mike Birbiglia. Certainly looking forward to seeing them. And right now, we return to the sports page with Chick McGee.
A Sherpa guide has regained... Oh, criminy, hang on. Stupid world record. A Sherpa guide has regained... This is the world record, too, for most Sherpa records this week.
It has to be.
It's the second day.
One guy tied the record, and the other guy has just broken it.
And I guess if you're Guinness, when you go there, you go to Everest, you may as well go ahead and...
Get a couple of them on there. Yeah. A Sherpa guide has regained the world record title for the most climbs of Everest just 3 days after fellow Sherpa climber Pasang Dawa, that's Pasang Dawa,
and I think they all have the last name Sherpa,
equaled his previous record.
Seriously.
No one doubted you. I was trying to get past.
I mean, it wouldn't be like weird,
not having to talk to you.
Weird if it was like Ace Cosby McGee, Josh Arnold McGee, Christy Lee McGee.
Me and you have the same name.
Well, Sherpa is a
yeah. Wait a minute.
tribe of people.
So what you're saying, Willie, is the easier route would be everybody gets my last name.
If that's what you want to do. I mean, you're going to do whatever you want to do.
I've had enough last names, okay?
Take 3, then call it a day.
Yeah.
Are you changing your last name this time?
Nope.
You're not.
How does he feel about that?
He's cool with it.
Is he?
Which one is the, I guess you can't say on the radio.
Your favorite?
No. Which one is the current active driver's license one?
The one with the same as the kids last name. That's why I'm not changing it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
they shortened it at Elvis Island and dropped the lip.
Yeah, that's rough on roll call.
The new record holder, Cami Rita,
Meter maid.
summited the world's tallest peak for the 27th time. Mingma Sherpa of the Kathmandu-based 7 Summit Treks said the 53-year-old was safe and in good health. ... As far as you know.
He's done 27 times this man has summited Everest, hauling up
tourist stuff?
Tourists, basically. But
yeah.
I understand. I did a little bit of reading on this. Of course, John Krakauer, Into Thin Air, one of the great books of all time. This guy, 3 more summits, he gets a 12-inch Subway sandwich.
Oh, that'll be very nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
They really reward these guys.
Has anybody ever done it without a Sherpa from the Western world? Wouldn't that be kind of cooler?
I think it's.
I think you
believe
have
it's
to
possible.
take a tour, a guide up there. I think.
Isn't it $100,000 or something to go up there?
$100,000 per person for a license,
and incredibly dangerous. You can lose your nose, your fingers, your life.
Sure.
You can read about it. The people who practice this are called Sherpatologists.
What? Is that a herpetology?
Yeah, which I don't think is a popular enough word to even riff off of.
I got a
study of reptiles.
Can I ask a question? What are you laughing at?
Sherpatology.
Sherpatology.
Lars Olaf Goran Kropp achieved a solo ascent of Mount Everest without the use of bottled oxygen or a Sherpa assist.
Huh. See, that's how you got to do it, I think.
That's a man.
Well, again, if they had a chairlift going up there, none of us could do it.
No.
Because we would die from a lack of oxygen and we'd freeze. So
I hope this isn't too controversial, but man, I have no desire to climb Everest.
No.
No, a lot of good video. You know,
A lot of good
what it looks like up
documentaries.
there.
And I don't know if you've heard about this book written by John Krakauer called Into Thin Air. Amazing.
Now, by the way,
Amazing book.
it's a law that every foreign climber in Nepal is required to have a Sherpa.
The best part, though, is you get, going down that slide.
Yeah.
That's
Get
cool.
to the top.
That does make me kind of want to do it. Yeah.
At 10,000 feet, I guess after the first 10,000 feet of the slide, you're going 150 miles an hour.
That's a good bit. You get up to the top, and there's that guy who runs the water slide. All right, hang on.
Hey, hold on.
Cross your arms in front of your chest. All right.
Wait.
Calm down. All right, you ready? Whoa! Hello, Bob and Tom Show.
Bob and Tom, Coach Ralph Fontaine.
Oh, Coach, I'm glad you called.
Kids call me Coach, kids call me Skip, and call me Windmill, because I'll wave you home. You understand that?
Oh, yeah.
Heard you talking about that pitiful kid that nearly got swept up by a dust devil making the news.
He was 7 years old, though, Coach.
Yeah, that kid doesn't need a hero. He needs a French horn. You understand that?
That's right.
That's the sort of kid, Chick will tell you, the sort of kid that goes the whole year, only hit he gets his office inhaler. You understand that?
Yep.
The sort of kid that thinks he needs a key to open a batter's box. You put him in right field, the only thing he'll catch is chicken pox. It's the sort of kid that can wreck a ball club. I pray for those kids to sign up for soccer. I tell a kid like that, I take him out to right field, take a knee, get away from the parents. There's the iron team, son, but there isn't quit. You understand that? I tell my kids, don't get mad, get better. Eyes on me, ears on the message, mind on the mystery. Heck, I got a lot of these kids I coach don't realize in just 2-3 years, most of them going to be 6 years old. It's over by then.
Right. Too late.
Baseball's had a clock long before this year. You give me 3 Billy Haynes, 4 Chick McGee's, and a kid that can find fresh air without a tour guide, I'll win you, damn.
What am I doing?
I've got a hot date in the winner's bracket.
What's happening?
Thanks,
There's
Coach.
Wind. What's going on?
He said
no.
he prays for some of these kids to sign up for soccer.
Coach is a badass.
Okay, I've never said this before in my broadcast career,
Oh, boy.
but this is something of a world record.
Okay.
I am very excited, and I hope you are too.
Okay.
Let's see.
This is wonderful.
Is that sarcastic?
Nope. An Australian strongman has set the Guinness World Record for the fastest time to rotate a Ferris wheel by hand.
Whoa! He just prices right in
Yeah,
it?
but it's a huge Ferris wheel.
Rely.
I was picturing. I was picturing that.
No, what I was like a toy. Yes, a real Ferris.
No, but I mean it's not like a little tiny one.
Yeah.
No,
like a toy. Relying on sheer strength alone, Troy Conley Magnusson managed to spin a Ferris wheel in just 16 minutes, 55 seconds to set the first record.
Awesome.
This is the 39-year-old's fourth Guinness World Record title. His other three are most cars pulled with his teeth, heaviest vehicle pushed over 100 feet, over 25,000 pounds, almost 26,000 pounds, and fastest 20-meter light aircraft pull with teeth, 15.3 seconds.
Have you watched this, Chick? Yeah, I'd like to show it to you, but...
In order to successfully achieve this record, the Ferris wheel used must have a minimum of 24 gondolas, with each one weighing a minimum 1,543 pounds.
Wow.
The total weight of the structure must be at least 99,208 pounds.
This guy's doing this by hand. And it was to benefit a charity, so you got to hand it to the guy. It's great.
Yeah.
Did you know that after he did this, they let him pick an animal, a stuffed animal from the top row?
Oh, that's very nice. Yes, good.
He wanted the minion.
Oh,
man, those minions are funny.
Yeah, Yeah, but
laugh free.
They were out of it. So he got the SpongeBob, John.
Oh, okay. Well, that's better.
Banana.
This is a great story. But Pat,
Yes?
I hate to give you a curveball here. This reminds me. I was just Googling this and I forgot about this story. The headline: 2 arrested for having sex on a ride at Cedar Point, the great amusement park in northern Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
The story reads: police in Ohio have arrested 2 people for allegedly having intimate relations on the Ferris wheel at Cedar Point.
Oh, boy, yeah.
This comes to us from the Sandusky, Ohio Police Department. Witnesses who were behind the couple's cart said they could clearly see the suspects'
doing it.
naughty parts, and they could feel the cart shaking. The man and woman, both 32, initially denied the allegations.
No, we didn't.
The woman said she'd been over to pick up a pack of cigarettes, and the man tried to help her. She later admitted to having intimate relations on the ride.
We did.
Yeah, okay. Don't you have a tribute?
Yeah, I remember this. Woo! Headed to Ohio, going to Cedar Point. On the way in the car, we smoke a joint. You got no bra on, and I can see your headlights. Hopped on the blue streak, I'm so turned on. Maybe we should do it in the parking lot. Get on a ride where no one can see us. Do me, mama, on the Ferris wheel. Do me, mama, let me cop a feel. Hey, mama, do me. Little children are traumatized. Cops are waiting at the end of the ride. But hey, mama, do me. Lying to the police was my best bet. I said she just bent over for her cigarettes. My pants fell down and I slipped inside her. Oh, do me, mama, on the Ferris wheel. Our bed at home has no sex appeal. Hey, mama, do me. Cedar Point will probably sue me. Mama, do me.
Oh, that's
All right.
nice.
Mama, do me.
And the thing about doing it on a Ferris wheel is, you got to finish up because you get that signal when you're almost back down to the ground.
What's the signal?
You have to get off soon. I mean, once it goes around.
What Ferris wheels are you riding?
The ones where you get off when you get back to the ground, you see.
Well, sometimes you go around again. You don't just go once.
No, you said it. Now explain it. Evidently, you get a signal when you are
When you're about to
ready
get
to get
off?
off.
I think he just means as you get closer to the ground again, that's your signal
that's
to
your
wrap
signal.
it up.
That's okay.
You said it like there was a light that went off or some sort of announcement
Or a
that
guy
tells
with a
you.
flag.
Because I don't know how many. Do you get 2 revolutions? 3? Okay.
Not sure how long these folks went. But.
Well, if you tip the guy, I think he'll take it for
Okay, all right.
longer.
Okay, well, they were arrested.
Josh, didn't you get stuck on one?
I've never been stuck on a Ferris wheel. No,
You
I
don't
don't care. I
like
don't care
them.
for them very much.
You don't like
I
them.
hate it.
No, I can be high on a roller coaster, but like on those hills, that doesn't bother me. But the Ferris wheel does.
There is video of you being upset on a Ferris wheel.
Oh yeah, Christy and I rode one.
Yeah, he was
that's
not
what it
happy
was.
with me. I made him do it.
Oh, okay. Is that sports?
Yes, that's sports.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
McGee.
Lucky, this is what you farted for.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, always be a good sport. Christy.
Oscar Mayer says it's changing the name of the famed Wienermobile, ladies and gentlemen.
Great idea.
Mistake.
Amazing. Great idea.
Huge mistake.
The legendary vehicle will now be known as the Frankmobile.
Dumb.
Really?
Stupid.
Kraft Heinz announced the Oscar Mayer was ushering in a new era for the hot dog shaped vehicle by changing its name for the first time since it first hit the road. And what year do you think the first Wienermobile hit the road?
I'm out. I heard this yesterday.
I'm going to say, go ahead.
52.
68.
Anybody? Ace, do you know?
Yes, 60.
1936.
Oh, wow.
The company said the newly coined Frankmobile pays homage to the brand's 100% beef Franks as it debuts a tasty new recipe with a more balanced flavor profile.
Who calls them Franks?
An iconic beefy taste that is more flavorful than ever.
This is the new Coke. This is a dumb move.
6 vehicles launching this week will feature new decals, Frank whistles, and a newly renamed class of hot doggers behind the wheel, now known as Frankfurters.
So Weenie Whistles is gone too. Frank
Yep,
Whistles, you
Frank Whistles.
No, Henry Ford invented it at lunch. He was eating a hot dog, put it on the roof of the Model T. And some guy said, "Hey, wait a minute, that's a great idea, Hank."
This is an April Fool's prank or something.
Well, this is May.
Well, this is May.
I know, but do you call them Franks?
Some people do.
Franks and beans.
Yeah, a lot of companies do too.
Jumbo Franks, you often hear?
Frankfurter.
They're just doing this. This won't stick.
Isn't the current Pope named Frank?
Francis?
Francis.
Yeah, sure.
Well, that's the Frankmobile then.
Frankie.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
The Pope-mobile.
Isn't Wiener an American thing? Or
I assume it's German.
Well, Frankfurters, though, is what I would think Germany calls them, right? Because of Frankfurt?
I mean, it's the Wienermobile. Why would you change it?
Just to push this new...
Hot dog?
Yeah,
It
this
makes
new recipe.
Yeah.
It won't stick, probably.
It makes the new jingle clumsy. You want to hear that? The new
Yeah.
jingle?
Oh.
Let's get the piano up there, yeah.
Okay.
My Wienermobile has a new name. It's Frank Mobile. I'm guessing Oscar Mayer changed it because of its SCX appeal. We used to giggle when it passed as it went through a tunnel or ran out of gas. Boy, Oscar Mayer has a way of ruining jokes about a DICK. It's probably the Wiener thing that's getting in the way.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the Wienermobile.
Well, as Josh said, according to the press release, they're going to see how the rebrand cuts the mustard with the fans, quote unquote.
They're just doing this to push
so
their all-new recipe beef franks.
Well, the original change, they were going to call it the Washington Football Mobile.
Oh.
So they had to change it from the
Wienermobile.
Now I want a hot dog.
Well, they can't call them Red Hots anymore.
Oh.
Red Hots.
So you have to
Get
go.
your Red Hots.
This kind of reminds me of when they changed the name of concert venues or stadiums, which they do constantly.
Oh, you mean because a new sponsor comes in?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and then people call it by they finally just give up and call it by the original name.
In this case, it's remember IHOB? Mm-hmm. Where they decided to change it to the International House of Burgers, and we all went, what the hell? Well, this is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's just this is all advertising.
They're going to promote their Franks for a while, and then a couple months, right back to Wieners. Come 4th of July, back to Wieners. That's what I say.
The Wienermobile is back.
Yep.
Yay.
But you don't say wieners, because people
say hot
You don't
dogs.
say, hey, do you want a Frank? And you don't say, do you want a wiener, do you?
No, never. It's the same. I've been
I
saying
think
the same.
Pat said that, haven't you?
A couple of nightclubs I go.
Hey, baby, you want
a wiener?
You want my wiener? Yeah.
Anthony Weiner. Remember that idiot?
Sure.
No, it's just a branding thing. I've said this 100 times. You have to understand branding, and the best example, of course, is Colonel Gaddafi. He was running the country. Did he make himself General Gaddafi? No, he knew that he was the colonel.
But this is the new branding game. You say, hey, we're going to change our brand a little bit.
Right.
And people then it's just all
Everybody's
news.
talking
all of a
about
sudden,
it.
Wienermobile is trending, and they end up not changing it.
Okay, so we'll see what happens.
So Colonel should have gone with Admiral for a while or whatever.
Well, there was no social media
I
back
don't think he
then,
was-
so he didn't get the buzz.
Would you eat General Sanders fried chicken? No.
Only one general when it comes to chicken, and that's so.
That's right.
So,
what's the T for in that?
Tasty, in my book.
That's tasty. D as in General So. you put like a.
You did. That was great, General So.
It's so.
Oh, by the way, how much time do we have here?
18 months.
All the time in the world.
We had an interesting story yesterday out of Pennsylvania. When we come back, I'll do it. I've got a nice letter from someone.
Hey, you know, that's the world's largest pencil. Pennsylvania.
Boy, sorry, I'm running low on air over here. When we come back, we have an update on the Vietnamese restaurant that got burned.
You can't blame Chick for thinking that would fly in this room.
Yeah. Right up your alley.
Also, we have strippers in the news.
Get naked, bitch!
And
they hate it. Hey, bitch, with the clothes on. You're supposed to be naked.
And someone who probably wouldn't be interested in
Naked.
wouldn't be interested in the lady stripper is the man who allegedly stole the ruby slippers of Judy Garland.
Oh, really? Is Is that a generalization? Okay.
Oh, well, odds are.
While we're
sashayed them back into the...
While we're still able to be on the air, we'll come back with that.
This is the Bob and Tom Show.
For a complete copy.
We have a punk version of The Way I Am.
Why can't you do it?
We don't have electric guitars.
Oh, I see. We can imagine.
I have to scream, though. Should I back off the mic a little bit?
Look at the engineers and ask them.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, okay.
Ask the
they look
boys
like
behind
they're
the bars.
positive. So this is going to be an acoustic version of the punk version of The Way I Am.
All right. This is
All
new.
right. You scream with me, though, so I don't look like an idiot.
All right.
Okay. Screaming by myself.
Go ahead, engineers. It's up to
Shepard's
you.
not going to like this. I'll back off the mic a little bit. You have to imagine this is an electric guitar, okay?
I've got
and
it.
you come to the show tonight, you'll see us headbanging. If you were falling, then I would catch you. If you need a light, then I'll find a match. 'Cause I love the way you say good morning. Take me the way I am. If you are chilly, then here, take my sweater. If your head is aching, then I'll make it better. 'Cause I love the way you call me baby. Oh, baby. Take me the way I am. I'll buy you Rogaine when you start losing all of your hair. I'll sew on patches to all your tear. 'Cause I love you more than I could promise. And you take me the way I am. With you, take me the way I am. With you, take me the way I am. The way I am.
Yes.
Yes. Bravo.
Tuesday is a trademark. Taco Bell says in a filing with the U.S. Patent and Trade Office dated Tuesday that too many businesses use Taco Tuesday for Cheyenne-based Taco John's to claim exclusive rights to that phrase. Taco John's has tried vigorously to enforce its claim to Taco Tuesday over the years, sending warning letters far and wide to restaurants with those Taco Tuesday promotions. Taco John's first response to Taco Bell, a new Taco Tuesday promotion. And congratulations to friend of the show, Pat McAfee. His show moving to ESPN as part of a new multi-year deal. McAfee first joined ESPN as a college football analyst for its Thursday night games in 2019. He returned to the network last year and became part of the College Game Day crew, as well as hosting some alternate presentations of ESPN games, including the CFP National Championship. That'll continue, but it's McAfee's show that's created the most buzz. ESPN also announced a documentary series on Serena Williams and 4 major matchups for the upcoming college football season. And that's a look at things you may have missed. More of the Bob and Tom Show coming up.
Hey man, it's Donnie Baker, and the fact remains there's nothing better than being a VIP. And I don't mean like us dudes on Pervert Rabbit Xanadu's. I'm talking about a Bob and Tom VIP. Best thing, you'll never miss another minute of the show. I swear to God, you can hear the show here in the morning, and then cause you're a Bob and Tom VIP, you'll get the podcast of the entire show, a 12-month library of podcasts, hundreds of Bob and Tom comedy tapes, and a 60-day video archive of the show. Bob and Tom VIP. You have to get it. It's state law.
Bob and Tom, 24/7.
Now, have you ever done a cop convention or anything?
I just did one last night.
Did you really?
Yeah, and they're fun because they understand stuff that I'm talking about, you know. I always say
Unlike the normal audience.
Yeah,
Yes,
the biggest misconception people have about police is that we really care. Don't. If you see a wreck and you can make a U-turn, you're going to do it.
Sometimes you just get stuck.
Oh, you know, you just don't want to hear it. It's always the same thing.
I want to hear it.
That's true. Every time you make a traffic stop, I ain't out catching real criminals. Well, I'll tell you the truth, lady, I'm not that good at this job. I'm trying to figure out a way to get disability without actually hurting myself. See, I was a smart aleck.
Didn't take it all that serious.
Oh, yeah.
Did you?
Oh, heck no. People would make U-turns on the expressway. I'd pull up behind them and go over my microphone and go, you know, because it says authorized vehicles only. I'd pull up behind them and go over my microphone and go, I authorize you. I don't care. You can't be subpoenaed if your name's not on anything. That's the way I always felt about it.
Hi, this is Augie Smith. You're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hi, who's this?
We'll go with Kevin.
Okay, Kevin.
All right, Kevin.
We'll accept that.
About a month and a half ago, I walked in. My fiance walked in and found me looking at some adult entertainment on the laptop.
Yep.
I picked up the laptop and chucked it at me. Ooh. My cat-like reflexes. I moved. A brand new flat screen TV took it right through the middle of it.
Oh, man. Wow, I guess there's no more solo work by... wow.
Well, yeah. Well, I should just take it in the face because then I could at least watch the DVDs I had.
but your broken eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, take it. Yeah.
It's easier to replace the TV than it is your face.
A broken nose will heal. But you could never find another flat screen TV. They quit making them, right?
Are the stars out tonight? I don't care if it's cloudy or bright, 'cause I'm blind.
Jeez.
Hello. You're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
Details on our various websites, etc.
Welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. Christy Lee at the news desk.
Hello.
There's Pat Godwin.
Hey, chick.
There's Josh Arnold.
Hi there.
Yeah. There's Ace Cosby. Howdy. There's Willie Griswold.
Hey, man.
I'm Chick McGee, and here's Tom Griswold.
Well, thank you very much, Chick McGee.
You're welcome, Tom.
Coming up, comedian Al Jackson will be joining us with our language lesson. And then also it'll be Mike Birbiglia in the studio. Mike Birbiglia just off his Broadway show, and he's working on some new stuff. Very excited about that. He's also featured in the Taylor Swift video. Mike is a fine actor, and he's acting in that. He's the bad guy, kind of.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to Mike about that. Coming up, we have a couple of really odd stories, including one about radio that just came in, hot off the presses. But right now, we turn to Christy Lee. She's over there at the Bob and Tom News Desk. What have we missed?
A new survey suggests how much coffee people need to get through the day. This poll was conducted on behalf of multi-beverage system maker Flavia and states 77% of coffee drinkers said, they needed 2 or more cups of coffee to feel productive on a workday.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
I think so, yeah.
I think that sounds way low.
I'm at like 2.5 and a prescription medication that helps wake me up. It's tough, man. Yeah.
24% of respondents said they needed the most coffee on what day of the week?
Monday.
That's right.
Somebody has a case of the Mondays.
And a hot cup of coffee is the go-to first drink of the day for 66% of those polled. 60% turn to a hot cup of coffee to improve their mood at work.
Josh, you have thoughts on this story?
I mean, this is as nothing a survey as we've ever done.
Was it done by the Coffee Institute of America?
Well, Flavia certainly is coffee something, but
if we lean in and we want to have the boring conversation, I prefer cold coffee in the morning.
Do you really?
It's a little bit easier for me to drink.
Even in the winter?
On a super cold morning, definitely going with a hot cup of Joe. But I always like to do water before I drink coffee, because if I do coffee first, I just feel like my brain is going crazy from the get-go. I need to have a little bit of water to get my day started.
I blame Mark Maron for this. He turned me on to 4 shots of espresso over ice.
Oh.
And I told my cardiologist about that a couple weeks ago, and he goes, you drank 4 shots? And I go, yeah. And he goes, stop that. So,
yeah.
I'm not going to be doing
Man.
it. Yeah.
You're off the coffee. How's it going?
It's all right.
So I heard
you don't like it.
Are you lactose or are you what's your problem?
Just off of it. This is decaf tea.
All right.
Iced tea.
But what's the problem?
Well, he's just trying things out to see if he feels better.
Oh, okay. I think I'm going to switch and maybe go with weed.
All right.
The wake and bake.
You know a guy.
Yeah.
I have no interest in getting high with him.
You don't have to do just give it to him and
once.
run.
I haven't done that in ages. What I'd like to know, what do you suppose the percentage is of people that so-called wake and bake?
I don't know. I mean, it's not great, to be honest. You need to have, if you work from home, I can get that, but you don't want to go in public. You don't want to get pulled over smelling like pot. Waking and baking is a lot of stress in a lot of places.
I would say it's in the low, like 6% maybe.
I don't know.
Even less than that, I would say.
I would like to see the study of.
Do you mean consistently, or people who have ever just done that?
No, I mean people who get up every morning and
instead of a cup of coffee,
fire up.
Yeah.
I did that in college, but it's hard. And then you crash at like 10 a.m. It's really tough.
Not good for this job, then.
Oh, you can't. You can't do it at all at this job. It happened once by accident. I crashed at 6:30. I had no clue what to do.
Pat, don't you? I forgot you have a new song about your romance with, or the romance, I should say, with marijuana. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's going to take me a second to get to that.
Okay. You might have
Well, while you're looking, IHOP is now selling something that deals with this story. Pancake flavored coffee.
Oh, yeah?
Kraft Heinz, the chain's parent company, has announced fans will now be able to enjoy IHOP coffee at home.
Really?
They say IHOP coffee available in 3 roasts, signature blend, buttery syrup, and its best-selling pancake flavor, chocolate chip. Coffee currently available for purchase in K-Cup pods and bags of grounds at grocery stores. So there you go.
Doesn't sound like they know what your rule is, Tom.
What's your rule?
Coffee is out there.
Oh.
You make it at home.
They're calling it flappuccino.
Flapjacks.
Pancake, flapjacks.
I'm not. I like coffee flavored coffee. That's what I like.
Me too.
And I also, this is going to be controversial, and some of you will doubt this. I don't care for chocolate chip pancakes.
I don't either.
Sure. I just want butter and syrup.
Sure, Josh.
You think you're better than me, don't you?
Well, I do, but not because of the pancakes.
What about blueberry?
Do you like the chocolate chip pancakes?
I love the chocolate chip pancake.
Really?
My favorite thing is a thin pancake, the Swedish pancake mix you get at the store, and then you put chocolate chip pancake. You pour it in, and then you put the chocolate chips on top of it, and then you flip it. Perfect.
And your son, he likes super thin pancakes.
Me too. I love super thin pancakes. You got to have blueberry pancakes.
Oh, so AC, you like the blueberry? I
like
when I want
banana.
pancakes.
I want pancakes raw.
I like banana pancakes.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But what I hate the flavored syrups. That should be illegal.
Yeah, who wants boysenberry? I mean, I guess the people are out there.
Yeah.
You
I like
do.
it. I like that.
You know, that's one of the things I admire about you, Willie, is you do like to get out of the norms. You like these wild. I'm not. That's not me.
Wild boysenberry.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. When I want pancakes, it's butter and syrup. I want with a regular coffee.
Because you're an American.
I am an American.
That's right.
Yeah.
American.
But Willie is too. And
I'm sort of a Guy Fieri type, my spiky hair going off into the wind, and the poor boysenberry syrup.
You devil may care.
So IHOP has their own pancake flavored coffee. That sounds dreadful.
What meat?
I don't know, man.
What meat are you having with your pancakes? You having a meat?
That's a great question,
Link
Chick.
sausage.
That's a fine choice.
Do you ever do the crumbled sausage or crumbled bacon in the pancake itself?
No. I haven't. I'm curious.
A restaurant in Boulder did that, called them saddlebags. Great time.
There's a restaurant here that does it. I'll point you in the right direction.
Rock and roll.
No, you don't put anything on
What's your pancake meat?
Sausage links.
Yeah, I think you guys are right.
Have you ever used a pancake as a tortilla for a breakfast taco?
Yes.
Oh, really? Like what you put in the eggs
Put
and
scrambled eggs and sausage, roll it up, and it's like a big cigar.
Okay, because the
ever use a pancake for a coffee filter?
No.
Wait a minute. No, ever use a coffee filter to wipe your ass? No, wait a minute.
I use a pancake to put 2 over easy eggs on top. That's
a bold move, Christy.
I love it.
The pancake peanut butter and jelly is also a sort of stoner classic of mine.
See, I don't want my yolk touching my pancake.
Oh, I do. I like it. I don't put anything on it. Just the 2 eggs, and they get
no syrup, no butter.
No, 2 eggs over easy.
Oh, okay. Well, let's move forward here.
What's wrong with you?
Coming up, comedian Mike Birbiglia, comedian Al Jackson. I'll also remind you, comedians Willie G and Reno tonight at the Summit City Comedy Club in Fort Wayne. And then you guys, Reno, you and Willie, or Willie, you and Reno are going to be at the Dayton Funny Bone on Friday and Saturday. Greg Morton, good friend of the show at Comedy Off Broadway, a show not to miss in Lexington. Beautiful Lexington.
How did Morton get on this list of he doesn't have to come in here to plug his gigs?
Yeah, because he's a nice man.
He's a very nice man, but all of a sudden he's on this list. I want to know what happened. Oh. You'll tell me on the phone calls were made.
I'll tell you nothing in life. Coming up, we have a really weird, really odd breaking news story about radio that I've got to do a little homework.
Good morning.
Well, yeah, it's really quite odd. Then we have a really unfortunate story about something that happened at a church altar, and a pleasant, happy ending for the Ruby Slippers of Judy Garland.
Oh.
And also a strippers union is happening.
Really?
We'll find out about that. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Thanks for listening to the Bob and
So we're getting back to your hobbies, James. You're a bowler.
Yes.
You got that going for you.
Yes, I
Golf, skydiving, scuba diving, skiing. You went skydiving? How'd that go?
Yes, I did. Well,
was it a tandem jump or did you?
It was a tandem jump. Yeah, scared me. I'm big.
I was going to say, I don't
scared you. Who were you with?
I was going to say
the other dude. I was strapped to the guy.
What do you weigh in at? Do you mind if I ask?
Then I was about 280, I guess. I'm probably 295 now.
Oh my! Now is the person when you do the tandem? Is the person with the chute?
Land on somebody else.
Is the person with the chute in back of you?
He's behind you. You don't have to do anything. You're basically like luggage.
You're looking at, you're just watching the ground come at you while the guy behind you has the chute and does all the work.
And you've never been so glad to have a man strapped to your behind. Ever. You will never. And you know, they call it a sport, too.
Well, sure,
the
it's
whole
very
time,
difficult.
They're like, did you like the sport? And I was like, falling is not a sport. You know, if it was, my grandmother would win a medal. The Silver Hip Award goes to.
Yes.
If you want to make a sport, you should just throw the parachute out of the plane and then make the guy jump and put it on before he hits the ground.
Oh, I like that.
Now, for competition, throw one parachute out, 3 or 4 guys jump.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
He won.
So did you glide in, James?
We glided in, and on the tape.
Did you fall or did you land standing?
At the very last minute, he said stand up, and I was already going down, and there wasn't no. But my ears did not pop. The thing with the ears. Yeah. So when I hit the ground, immediately I was like. He was like, how do you like it? And I was like, it was good. I enjoyed it very much because I could not hear myself.
Couldn't hear a thing.
Well, that's because, see, if it were me, I would be tightening every orifice in my body to prevent leakage, including my ears.
Plus, there's a dude behind you.
Yeah. And that part stayed. That my ears did not pop until maybe the next day. And I had to sing that night. I was doing a play called Smoke on the Mountain.
You're a singer? I didn't know.
Yeah, where you sing gospel music. It's a gospel music play.
Smoke on the mountain, fire in the sky. It's a great play. Yeah.
So I'm trying to sing. I'm like, amazing, great that we.
Well, that's unfortunate. I want to apologize to anyone knows that might have.
Well, I don't know if you're deaf, you automatically talk that way, even though you can speak.
That's what it sounds like when you're talking.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's nerve wracking, and the more scared you've already done it, the more scared of it you are, the better you get out. The more you get out of it. You know, it is really like that facing your fear and all that stuff. And when you're standing in the doorway of that plane,
it's
every cell in your body screams, you better hold on to something. I mean, it's overwhelming.
Paul, you kind of came off the road as a comedian many years ago when you started doing the TBS show. How many?
We started in '95, so
really
14 years.
Wow,
doing it.
But you occasionally go back out on the road and do stand-up.
I do. I took a little time off the last couple of years, but now I'm getting back out there. You know, it can kind of burn you out being on the road. But, you know, I always see stuff on the road that you just don't see anywhere else, and it just makes you laugh. And I was staying at this hotel, and one of my club dates, and I go down to the jacuzzi, and there's a sign above the jacuzzi that says, "No one shall jump or dive into the jacuzzi." Now, if you're going to dive headfirst into a jacuzzi, are you really going to be swayed by the word shall? Come on, boys, let's go into jacuzzi. Hold on, I see the King's English.
Wow.
What the heck?
I'm guessing that was a lawyer. They really should have.
That just made me laugh all day. That takes away the loneliness of the road. You can't get lonely.
Handle drew the top honor Thursday from Stephen Leatherman, professor in the Department of Earth and Environment at Florida International University. And that's your news. I'm Christy Lee. More of the Bob and Tom Show on the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob and Tom.
Coming up in sports, we have a world record, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes. Thanks for letting me in and broadcast.
What's coming up in sports? You don't sound defeated.
Yeah, I don't know why I would. What's coming up? A world record, right? Okay. Well, thanks, Chick. We'll be right back.
I just wanted to get to it before noon.
Why do you sound defeated?
Yeah, why do you sound? What's your problem?
Why do you sound so beaten down?
What's the problem, loser?
Yeah,
when did you get in a bad mood?
Yeah.
Answer me!
When did this start? 35 years ago when I began hitting you in the head?
Bob and Tom in the morning and highlights all day long.
The Bob and Tom Show, weekday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern on Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hey, this is Larry the Cable Guy, and you're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7. Boy, better get up, get some exercise.
This is a song I wrote for a special person. All right. Each time I need a trusted friend, you're there. Tears to dry and a heart to mend, you're there. And when I'm down in misery and the whole world turns its back on me and I need some love and sympathy, you're there. Nice, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
And when I'm weary and tired of trying, honey, you're there. And anytime I need a shoulder to cry on, you're there. And sometimes when I come home with a heavy heart and weary bones and I need a little time alone, you're there. I want to turn the stereo on, but you're there. I gotta get in to use the John, but you're there. And when I wake up lovingly and turn on my pillow, hoping to see Kim Basinger smiling back at me, you're there. Oh, this is more of a good thing than I ever planned. How much damn togetherness can a one-man stand? Oh. Don't get me laughing here.
All right, sorry.
Hey, welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. At the news desk, it's Christy Lee.
Hello.
There's Pat Godwin in the performance room.
Hey, Chick.
There's Josh Arnold.
Hi.
There's Ace Cosby.
Hey.
Willie Griswold's here.
Hey, man.
I'm Chick McGee, and here's Tom Griswold. Hello, Tom.
Much. I don't know. I don't have any details on this. I just saw this story come over the International Newswire.
Okay.
Headline: AM for Every Vehicle Act introduced in Congress. And here's the story. A bipartisan coalition in the United States Congress has introduced the AM for Every Vehicle Act, legislation that would require federal regulators to mandate AM radios in new vehicles without an additional charge.
Oh.
Good.
I thought it was going the other way.
Yeah, it is going the other way.
Well,
that's why they want it to be
introducing
regulated.
this.
But isn't AM really important for emergency situations?
Yeah, that's probably their argument. Yeah, the I don't want to throw any brands under the bus, if you will. certain automobiles are no longer putting an AM radio in the radio.
Oh, it's a shame. There are a lot of good AM stations out there.
Well, this would require that. It's apparently just been introduced, so I don't know much more about it. I'm trying to find some more information.
Are we going to live long enough so we see AM converters now?
Well, it comes full circle, doesn't it?
Man, we are old enough to know this. Willie, there was a period of time, I would say the last FM converters were probably early 80s. Would you agree with me on that?
Yeah.
In other words, you'd buy your GTO and it would come with an AM radio, and you'd have to get an FM converter that would put the
So
FM
that way you could listen to the stations you liked?
Yeah.
Why didn't you just play music off your phone or your iPod, though?
And why didn't we think of that?
When I saw sweet GTO yesterday, Tommy, I thought of you.
Oh.
It was for sale, too. I almost stopped to see what the price was because it was on the windshield.
One of these days.
It was nice.
Oh, yeah.
What color was yours?
Unfortunately, yellow. Sad.
What?
I know. It's sad.
Oh, this one was black.
71. I'm sorry, back to this radio thing. Yeah, Willie, so there were FM converters. So, Chick, that's actually a very funny joke. That can you imagine if you have to have an AM converter on your car?
I have a converter for Figgy because it's Japanese radio.
Figgy is your small car?
Yeah, Figaro. And
So you pick up like Tokyo and stuff?
The Japanese radio bandwidth is really weird and it's like small. So you have to you push this thing in and you dial it into whatever radio, like 90.1 or something, and then
So in your
it'll
car you can
play.
tune in Tokyo?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I might be able to.
Wow.
It's bizarre.
In the back seat.
The morning show, Tokyo Rose, still.
Still? I can't believe this is still running.
That can't be the original Rose, can it?
No. It's like Menudo. They replace her. Are they still out there?
You're going to be my new Rose.
So I was trying to. I asked Dean if we had any
AM stuff.
Any possible specific radio stuff in honor of the United States Congress apparently mandating AM radios.
Well, they're giving people the choice back. That's what I like about it, is why take away the choice of AM radio?
There's a very solid argument to be made that from a political standpoint, the AM dial it leans a certain direction.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I don't. I think a lot of those are on FM. But,
Really?
Really?
They both are, sure.
Okay, well, right now, in the realm of potential laughter, there's this.
Here at the Bob and Tom Show, you're busy and want your entertainment fast. That's why we've created Bob and Tom's Super Fast Laughs Radio. We distill bits down so you can get all the yucks in a fraction of the time. Just listen to these Bob and Tom Show classics that would normally chew up 10.5 minutes of your valuable time. We've crammed all that funny into just 48 seconds.
Mr. Fister! Oh, Mr. Fister!
Oh, there's 18 wheels on a big rig.
I see your camel toe.
Hello and welcome to the Mr. Obvious Show.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. I think I got some kind of animal trapped in my house.
It's a garbage disposal.
Huh.
That'll do it for the Mr. Obvious Show.
They both make a living in that bad feed. Total sad
I couldn't even hear the edits, and I'll bet you couldn't either. Thanks to Bob and Tom's Super Fast Laughs Radio. And we're more than just comedy. Check out our all-new 5-second Chick McGee Sports Hour.
What the hell? Good morning, sports fans.
Chickster.
And that's
Chick McGee and Bob and Tom. Coming soon. Probably coming too soon. Only from Frigamall Broadcasting.
Isn't that nice?
That was last Wednesday's show.
Yeah, there you go. a little bit of
that is nice.
Radio for the AM dial. We'll see what happens with that. I wonder if
I don't think that's going to pass.
That wouldn't surprise me if it does. I mean, how hard is it for the car companies to put an AM radio?
No kidding.
The radio, it's probably like one chip.
I think this is the first car I've gotten a hold of without a CD player in it. So,
and honest, I did not know that my car had a CD player in it.
My car doesn't have
I
one.
was pressing some buttons the other day, and all of a sudden, bzzzt. Oh, look.
Remember when they had the CD changer in the trunk?
Yeah, and you had like 6 in there.
God, you had to get out.
Yes.
Wait, but why wouldn't you guys just play music off your iPod or your phone? Why wouldn't you guys just...
Cut that out! You know we didn't have those. And we didn't play with big wheels either, okay?
We were gypped.
Stop judging us.
Wait, we can't say that anymore. Sorry.
I think if they're going to regulate something, they should regulate the cup holders. No cup holder can fit a Gatorade, and they need to someone needs to fix this.
Here.
The first
You know
person,
what? You're right.
You are your father's son.
If there is a cup holder that can hold a Pedialyte, hungover road comedians will make that car the best-selling car in America.
Stop banging on the desk.
Yes. Oh, so was that interrupting? I got real excited. I was doing a sort of an order.
I loved the passion.
Yeah, I was doing an order thing.
I think you might be able to look. I mean, maybe WeatherTech or somebody has one where you screw it into the existing cup holder, and it comes up and it expands out. There's like a bigger cup holder. Yeah.
I've also some of the metal things that people carry around now. Instead
those big.
They shrink at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
They get them slender so they will fit in a cup holder.
Yeah.
Okay, very handy, very handy. You know what it's like, Josh, when you
very handy
try to fit your little...
it's clear we've run out of conversation.
Okay, sorry. Christy, what else is happening in the
What
news?
would you like to talk about, Josh?
Yeah, you know, you
don't pull his move on me.
No,
we're all
gonna pull this. You have been really heavy on This Is Nothing today. And you've done it 3 times.
Sometimes you wake up and you realize your existence is meaningless. Just because I'm having a crisis, an existential crisis.
Josh,
you're right.
I wake up every day and I know that your existence is meaningless.
Exactly. So I didn't mean bring it in.
Okay, Christy, do the stripper story.
People smile.
Oh, name me 2.
Christy, Josh loves the stripper clubs, whatever the hell they call it.
Boy, if you only knew me.
Could you read that story? Maybe that'll make him happy.
The owners of the Star Garden Topless Dive Bar in North Hollywood are expected to...
Whoa. The what now?
It's called the Star Garden Topless Dive Bar.
All right.
In North Hollywood. Are expected to recognize and negotiate with a newly formed strippers union. The strippers had been dismissed from the club in March of 2022 when they protested for safe working conditions and picketed outside for months.
Hello, honey. What are you looking at? I got seniority.
How bad could this be?
When ballots are officially opened later this week, like today, strippers are expected to overwhelmingly win the union election, forming the first known union of strippers in the United States since the nation's only unionized strip club.
Well, good, because they currently have scabs working there, and nobody wants to see scabs at a strip club.
What could be going on here where they're like, guys, the work conditions here are not safe.
Mm-hmm. Were you the friend of mine who said one time you were at an adult entertainment complex and one of the dancers was obviously... It was her
time of the month?
Yeah.
No, I never go to those ever.
I've seen that.
I know somebody who has seen that. The string hanging down? Yeah.
Hey, look, they're working.
Yeah.
Can't take off.
The nation's only unionized strip club closed in 2013. It was called the Lusty Lady, and it was in San Francisco. So,
how about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
Wow. Okay, well, there we go. You do raise an interesting question about seniority. You know, I'd like to go to the champagne room. We'll just follow the lady with the walker. She's got seniority.
Good news for Donnie's stepmom.
Yeah.
Mom Phyllis.
Okay.
Yeah, now she'll be protected.
Is there a strip club that specializes in older ladies?
I don't know, but did you hear they're doing the Golden Bachelor now?
What is that?
All the contestants will be over 65. It's going to be on ABC this fall.
In case you're aware of this, you going to watch it?
Yeah.
Who was it that declared television was a vast wasteland?
It was a long time ago. I know that.
Wow, they nailed that in, 1958?
That's sort of union related. To get used to a lot of reality TV.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Especially
with the writer's strike.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought that even the reality shows were scripted.
A lot of them are.
So they're going to be even worse now.
yeah.
Great.
By the way, if I inspired any weirdos with my table banging earlier, Nicholas has written in and says, the Dodge Ram has an adjustable cup holder that will hold the fat Gatorades. So thank you so much, Nick. And thank you, Dodge Ram.
There you go.
that?
There you we go.
Yes, accommodating. Isn't that nice?
Just that easy.
No,
What about the ranch dipping cup? I want a cup holder for my ranch dipping cup that I get from McDonald's or Burger King. That way I can dip my nuggets right in there in the car.
I don't trust those. Those should not be eaten in the car because the next thing you know, you're dropping it on the front of your shirt.
Yeah,
it's a mess.
But the cup holder would help expedite that process.
No, now you're just bringing it a longer
I have
distance.
an idea. What if you convert the CD player?
Hang on a second.
The CD player that comes out.
Yep.
Right, there's a big hole there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Can you convert that into a cup holder?
What?
I don't know.
Yeah, you press the button, the CD thing comes out. You don't put a CD in it, you put your Gatorade in there.
How about when you're driving, and how about when you're home eating ranch dressing and having a drink of pop, you're at home.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I live in France now, and I can't eat ranch while I drive my car?
No, that's right. Next thing you know, you're going to have an 8-course spaghetti meal, okay? You can't while you're driving.
You two hate buttermilk, and you hate freedom. I'll tell you that right now.
I do not hate buttermilk.
Worst food to eat while driving. Go.
Oh, spaghetti. It's got to be.
Soup.
Yeah, like a thick stew.
Well, no, soup, you can chug it down, man.
Okay.
Oh.
What if it's chunky?
Nachos, anything like that.
Yeah. Hang on.
Nachos would be rough.
Okay.
Christy wants to know if it's
chunky.
Wasn't that
Chunky soup is not really that thick.
Really?
Jesus. You know, the next time you're something in your brain goes, hey, say that. Just ignore that, will you? Can you do that for me?
It's a fact.
It's a fact.
Coming up, Al Jackson, comedian. Coming up, Mike Birbiglia, comedian. Right now, let's talk about the glories of sleep. We'll start with a quiz. Christy Lee, what is your sleep number bed sleep number setting?
45.
That is a not-so-firm mattress. Whereas, Mr. McGee, your sleep number setting?
100. I like a firm mattress, Tom. You know that.
All right. Now, of course, let's get to science here. The sleep number people do a lot of research about sleeping, and they know that science shows quality sleep helps improve your mental, emotional, physical well-being. Of course it does. Helps with your relationships, et cetera, et cetera. The new idea here is what we're calling leveling up. Level up to a sleep number bed. They've got the idea done. The idea is really quite simple, and that is you can adjust the firmness of the mattress anytime you want to at the touch of a button, and either side has its own setting. So that side of the bed can be gooey and soft, and this side can be hard as a pool table, whatever you like. That's the beauty of the sleep number bed. It's like buying 40 beds at the same time, but it takes up a lot less room. Things like temperature are very important, and the sleep number people have figured this all out. But you got to go to the store to figure it out for yourself and find out. Go to sleepnumber.com/BT show and sleep at the next level. Unlock your potential with a smart bed that can perform as well as you do. And right now, it's 50% off the Sleep Number limited edition smart beds. Plus, special financing is available for a limited time, subject to credit approval. See the store for all the details. That store, of course, is the Sleep Number store. To find it, go to sleepnumber.com/BT show. Coming up, comedian Al Jackson. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Essential.
About your britches, baby.
About your britches.
About your britches. 1, 2, 3. Monday, Tuesday, hump day is halfway. Stick it in the pig, pop it in the bank. Saturday's coming quicker than anything. 48 in shape. The only thing left is a little manscape. 20-photo rendezvous. I can't wait. I'm gonna blow a wad on you. Oh, I'm coming in my pants, my shirt, it's my best suit, baby. Gonna pick your flower, gonna be there in an hour. Coming in my pants, shine shoes, and my necktie, honey. I'm so excited, I hope that I don't love you. Gonna blow a wad on you. 20-photo rendezvous. I'm gonna blow a wad on you. Oh, I'm coming in my pants, my shirt is my best suit, baby. Gonna pick your flower, gonna be there in an hour. Coming in my pants, shine shoes, and my necktie, honey. I'm so excited now. I'm coming in my pants, my shirt is my best suit, baby. Come in my I'll pick your flower, gonna be there in an hour. Coming in my pants, shine shoes, and my necktie, honey. I'm so excited, you know, I can't wait, baby. I'm so excited, you know, I can't wait, baby. I'm so excited, I hope that I don't come soon. Oh, dang. Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. Here come the mummies.
A lot of bling bling from coast to coast. They know who I am. I'm the country gangster, Clem and M.
He's a little bit country. He's a little bit hip hop. He's Clem and M. Formerly comedian Tim Wilson. With his shiny gold chains and his dusty old cowboy boots. He's a regular hip hop along Cassidy.
Yodel-a-hee-ho. Yodel-a-hee-ho. Forget about Slim Shady. I'm the real Slim Whitman.
He's a country boy hanging out in the suburban jungle. His biatches are all hunting dogs. And his hoes, well, they're all backhoes powered by John Deere.
Come on, people, let's make some noise. All you players and good old boys, come to my show. You'll have a ball. I'm Clem and M. Peace out, y'all.
He's Clem and M, headlining his first U.S. concert tour with very special guests, Rappa, Flava Flav, and the Oak Ridge Boys. No one raises the roof like Clem and M. It's country, it's rap, it's crap. Catch Clem and M live in concert and sponsored by Wonder Bread and Colt 45 Malt Liquor. A Bob and Tom Show production.
This is Bob and Tom 24/7, 24/7, 24/7, 24/7.
Hi, fellas. This is Floyd Tucker, the over-the-road trucker. This is Bob and Tom's program, 24/7.
Hey, welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. Christy Lee at the news desk.
Hi.
There's Pat Godwin.
Hey, Chick.
There's Josh Arnold.
Hi there.
Hello, Ace Cosby. Hey. There's Willie Griswold.
My man.
I'm Chick McGee, and here's Tom Griswold.
Not sure if this is meant to send me a message.
What do you got over there?
I asked Mark to grab me some ice.
Yeah?
Yes.
Just one cube?
He brought me 4 cups.
Hey, that's nice.
So is I'm not sure if that's like a sarcastic.
I don't think so.
Oh, you want ice?
Why does he bring little ones? Why don't you just get a big cup full of ice?
There's no big cups back there by the ice machine, so you have to have the presence of mind to
bring
grab
a
a big
cup.
cup up here.
I don't think I don't think he was being sarcastic. I think he just wanted to make sure you
loyal employee and
Yes.
friend. Okay, thank you very much. I think we're going to switch gears. So there we go. I can see him right there. It's Al Jackson. Every time I see Al,
4 cups is a statement, Tom. Let's be real.
Okay. I think
it's a thing.
It always reminds me, Al. It looks like you're in front of the wall at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, it looks like the sun is shining on you. You have great lighting.
Yeah, I feel like this is what it's going to be like when you can still talk to people after they've died, and just like this you can just Al live via heaven. I'll be like, oh, I'll still do the Thursday segment. I won't miss it.
Al Jackson joins us. Al is one of the featured performers. He's talking on the TV. DBL, Daily Blast Live.
Tom, you said that like one of my aunts. Like, have you seen Al Jackson? He's on the TV.
Well, I did that, Al, because
you did it for a reason.
Yeah, no, we've been talking both on and off the air about something that just came over the wire. That a coalition in the United States Congress is actually lobbying now with a new thing was just proposed that would require AM radios in all cars and trucks. Because as you may or may not know, some of the car manufacturers have stopped putting AM radios in. And
that's crazy town.
Yeah, so I think there's an argument to be made that for security and for safety reasons, an AM radio is important. Also, there are certain places where the terrain dictates that the AM signal is better. In any event, I thought it was kind of funny, but that
and
reminds
also
me.
like sports radio, like you need that just for like AM is very necessary because look, Tom, AM means something to me and to all old school road comics. Because there was a period before there was any kind of really besides CDs to entertain yourselves, you were just driving through a rural part of Nevada and all you had is AM radio. You had a Christian channel in Spanish. You had a Christian channel in louder Spanish. You had a couple like weird kind of guys that were definitely broadcasting from their basement, but it made you kind of listen to like things you wouldn't otherwise. You were riding in silence. So I feel like AM radio is a necessary staple to keep your finger on the pulse of America.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I love listening to random AM signals, especially at night when they bounce all over the place, and you'll be in Mississippi and you're hearing a radio station from Canada, stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I think part of the thing behind this though is the politicalization. What's the word I'm looking for?
Politicization.
There's a lot of politics on the AM dial.
There you go.
Particularly from the right, and I think that's probably one of the reasons this has been proposed. That'd be
that's
my
that
guess.
Rush Limbaugh. Yeah, he was the first one to really lock that down.
But but there's a lot of sports talk and a lot of sports, a lot of baseball on the AM dial. So we'll see.
There is, and it will be missed. But you brought up the South, and I wanted to say, Tom, last week it's official now. I just got back from South Carolina on Monday. My mama got married, got remarried to a wonderful man in Charleston, South Carolina. I was just down there all week. I cannot explain how good the food is in that state.
Yeah, we love Charleston.
Chris, do you know it's like nowhere else. The pace. Because I asked my mom, I was like, because my mom is a very cosmopolitan woman. I was like, what's the biggest difference between South Carolina and, Cleveland, where she lived and most of her life? And she was like, you pick one thing to do a day. And so if you're going to go to the grocery store, that's what you do. And I was like, what do you mean? But when you go to South Carolina, because it's the geography, I guess. Right. It's all marshland mostly. So everything takes forever to go anywhere. Like everything is 26 minutes, but it makes you just go, we're going to go to the grocery store and then we're just going to go get some brisket at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
What's up?
The low country.
Yes, man. The food and the way people talk to you is so jarring because it's not these fake transactional conversations, which I try to avoid. They're like so authentic that it's weird, like you're like, we'll have a table for two, and they'll be like, we're glad you came in. I want to talk to you a little bit about this these ribs we just pulled off the rack. And the man will talk to you for 4 minutes about why the smoke. This is a new smoker they're using, and it was so refreshing. Like it re-galvanized me for the rest of 2023 or whatever.
I'm so glad you brought this up because I saw the photos of your mom's wedding on Instagram. I do follow your mother. I am a stalker.
Oh, good.
But she looked so cute and so happy. It was such a sweet thing.
Oh, Christy, I saw her and your boy, I fell apart. I was like, oh, that's my mom. And then on top, speaking about South Carolina, we do the wedding at this beautiful enclosure called Ashley River Park. If anybody's listening to South Carolina, there is a dope Yelp review coming in their future. But we're leaving, and the woman that runs the venue comes running. I thought somebody left their cell phone or something, and she's like, I just want to let everybody know we comped this entire thing. And I don't know why. I don't know what happened, but they just comped the whole wedding venue. Yes. And so it was just...
Somebody recognized you.
It was such a snow. I wish one person in the wedding party did, but she was already part of the wedding party. She was like an 80-year-old woman, so like I don't think she had that kind of sway.
Al, we're big in Charleston. Yeah, I bet they did.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Did you, Al? Like the important thing is, did you catch the garter?
No, and that's gross. I think the garter is the most isn't it uncomfortable for everybody every time? Because anytime I'm at somebody else's wedding and the garter's happening, I'm looking right at the dad, and he's got that same face that all the dads, it's like when your team just blew a fourth quarter lead, but you're with your son and he can't see you lose it. So you're like, no, this is great. Yeah. Hey, you win some, you lose some. Like, you just have to have that face. And I don't, why? It's like you're under her skirt. Your head is under there. Bro, we need to flip that out for something. I also don't like the cake smash on the face.
I hate that. I cannot stand that.
I think that's
still happening? Yeah. I was going to say, I hope not. Did it happen at your mom's?
Absolutely not. But I will say this, and Josh, I'm as a proud son of Dr. Jackie McLemore, I'm going to say this. Wedding cake was carrot cake. I don't know about that, Jack.
Really?
Yes, it's
wrong.
It's a polarizing cake.
It is a polarizing cake.
It's a polarizing cake, Christy.
Was there a white frosting?
That's what my guy wants for our wedding cake.
Was there white frosting, so it tricked you into thinking it wasn't carrot cake?
They do use a regular white frosting.
No,
they don't use cream cheese.
Someone should have called the police. That is insane. You can't have a fake wedding cake like that, and you go and there's a vegetable in there.
I'm with you, Willie.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was you know, and the only thing that has ever topped that, I told you guys, I went to that Super Bowl party. It was the year of the Janet Jackson Nipplegate.
Nice.
And the person that threw the Super Bowl party bought like 4 to 6 pizzas, and they were all pineapple.
All of them.
Every single pizza was some version of pineapple. And this is before YouTube, and this is before, you've been punked or tricked or whatever that show was. This was just a person that failed to understand that pineapple is a very polarizing ingredient. What's up with the anchovies if you're going to take it there, dog?
Yeah.
Wow.
But yes, other than that, it was one of the best experiences. I really like Charleston. Right at this point in my life where I'm moving and just trying to set my family up, I can't live there yet, but it's on the table. It's on the table for the latter years. It's just chill out there. It's on the table.
Well, the notion of just doing one thing per day is a Chick McGee staple.
You could never do that.
Yeah.
But Chick has, I think, perfected this.
I try to adhere to that, yes.
Just go into the grocery store. Well, that's it. That's the day.
You know what Tom always says? Why do one thing when you could barely do 10 things?
That's right.
That's right.
Al Jackson is our guest. Daily Blast Live is his TV show. And Al is educating this reporter in the world of hipper verbiage, I guess. What have we got?
Sounds like
today?
It's working.
What do we got?
Tom, we're going to start with one that this kind of just hit me, and I wanted to know how you would interpret this. Tom, when would you usually use the phrase, hey, yo?
Hey, you?
Hey, yo.
Yo.
Oh, hey, yo.
Heyyo.
I'm over here. Hey, yo.
Look, Tom is like a person that he's got just enough of an argument to get it to be the fourth entry in the dictionary. In terms of use, it's like, yes, technically. Okay. Josh, when would you use the phrase, hey, yo?
When I wanted to get a female's attention.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say at the beginning of an altercation or at the beginning of seeing a buddy I haven't seen in a long time, like, hey, yo, or like, hey, yo. Sometimes
I like
happy,
that.
sometimes sad.
Very excited.
Interesting. Those are all 100% valid. I find myself only using that if, like, let's say I went over to Josh's crib and the door was open and he was expecting me. He's like, oh, I might be upstairs. So that's my way of saying, hey, I'm here. I'll be like, hey, yo, is anybody in here? But yeah, okay, I will accept those. Tom, I'm going to count that as one for one.
Okay.
You know, you're getting ready to hit for the cycle. So let's do it. Tom, what is the phrase, if it's smoke, we pulling up? What does that mean?
If it's smoke, we pulling up?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I think, is this, if you're driving around and you see a cadre of attractive ladies, they are smoking hot, therefore you're going to stop by and go, hey, like in that commercial with the Mr. Microphone thing.
What's a
We just
cadre?
stopped to check you out or something.
Remember that
What
the
was
guy
it?
drives
Yes.
by and they go through the microphone, hey, ladies, we're stopping to check you out. How did I do?
That's not correct, but here you may have stumbled on something I absolutely love. You know how they call a bunch of crows is a murder of crows.
Mm-hmm.
I like a group of attractive women to call them a cadre. I love that.
They're like a team.
Yes.
You will help
Josh,
me.
what do you think? What do you think that means? If it's smoke, we pulling up.
If it looks like there's, if it looks like it's happening, like there's a lot of people there enjoying themselves, we're going to go ahead and stop and join in.
No, smoke
I think
just
it's
means
the
it's a
opposite.
prop.
Oh.
Yeah. So, no, Pat, talk to us.
If it's toast, the party's burnt, we're out of here. No?
That's not correct, but I like that was a complex, beautiful mind way to dissect that. That's interesting. Christy?
I was thinking if it's smoke, we're pulling up. It's you can see they're indulging in some marijuana or something, and there's a party, and we're going to stop.
What about Pope advocates, and they're trying to see the white smoke to see if the new Pope is coming, and they go, hey, fellas, we're pulling up. We're trying to see who's getting picked.
Is that it?
The streets have a lot of slang for the Pope.
Yes.
No, smoke is just like if there's a problem. And pulling up means, so it's like, somebody's talking crazy about Willie on IG Live. Well, we're just going to pull up to your radio station and we're going to see what's up.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if it's smoke, we're going to be there. If you're talking crazy, we're just going to pull up and we'll see if you can say the same thing to our face.
Gotcha.
Tom.
I see. Very good.
If you asked Josh what he did this weekend, and Josh said, Tom, I dipped to the A. What did he do?
I dipped to the A.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Don't. What
No.
did you have?
No, I know it's not. It's not that.
It's got nothing to do with
There's
chewing tobacco.
No rims involved, if you will.
Certainly no.
I dipped to this. So this is not a dipping like you would dip a chip, or dipping as you would. I dipped to the A. Man.
Look at Ace.
Got in the pool halfway.
It sounds like you did something you did something all the way.
Look at Ace.
Godwin's guess was hysterical.
What did he say?
Okay.
A guy got in the pool halfway. I dipped to the A. Right? That's it, right? Yeah.
Because there's a thing of I put my feet in the water and just kind of sat there. You can do that at the side of the pool, or you can kind of half submerge. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I would dip to the A means you went all the way with something. I'll tell you what, I was really hungry. Went to the game. I dipped to the A. I had 7 hot dogs, and no, I'm getting the look.
If I could, there's a hint in this room. Ace is wearing a hat that says A.
Yes.
What does that A stand for?
Ace?
No.
Atlanta? I dipped. I mean, you went to Atlanta. I dipped to the
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Well.
Yeah. I've actually said that before. Like, I did to the A, came right back on Sunday morning. Yeah, it's just like, oh, I dipped out real quick and came back.
When I dip to the A, I'm confined to the airport typically.
Yeah, or traffic.
Yeah, layover.
Yeah.
I dip to the A. That's interesting. How did you
All
do
right, so
that?
Tom,
Can
I
you
need
say
you
it
to
with
use
any
both.
city? Like I dip to the
Oh,
sea,
yeah.
like going to Chicago, or
Well, it would be you could probably. I mean, obviously, you can just use the real city's name, but if there is, you could say Chi-Town.
Gotcha.
You could say Chocolate City.
For
say
me,
Nolans.
I dipped in the sea means I hooked up with my ex-girlfriend again.
Oh,
there we go.
See, I'm from St. Louis, so when I say I dip to the loo, everybody goes, "My darling."
But yeah, and that's exactly what you called the loo. Yeah, I was dipped to the loo this weekend. It was my mom's birthday. Yeah, I love it. So, Tom, I need you to use both of these new phrases that we are incorporating into our lexicon. In a sense, I need you to use the phrase "dip to the A," and if there's smoke, we pulling up in the same sentence.
Well, I got into my hoopty.
Oh, jeez, that's not part of what.
I look. You don't edit Charles.
Okay,
Dickens
you're
over
right.
here.
You're easing in. Okay.
You don't edit Charles Dickens.
I do when he says hoopty.
I got into my hoopty. I was riding dirty, of course.
oh yes, of course.
And I dipped to the A, and I saw there was smoke. So I pulled up and said, "Hey, don't you go bad mouthing my friend Josh. Say it to my face, bro." How did I do?
He's really got my back here.
And by the way, Al, I don't think we can say Chocolate City. I don't know.
Oh, yes, you can. Oh, yeah.
See, I hear Chocolate City. I think it's Hershey, Pennsylvania.
So do
I
I.
think so, too.
Yeah.
And there's a fundamental difference.
Hey,
whenever they go, we're going to have a talk about race, and what's the difference? That right there. D.C. and Hershey, Pennsylvania. Both great places for very different reasons.
This may be a job for Hal Jackson. Could you do a GPS system that was all slang?
That would be so dope. That would be. I'm surprised they haven't done that.
It would give you like directions to the Chocolate City.
I wouldn't go down that street.
In street terms. Yeah, I'm not going to even try because
it certainly sounds like a Key and Peele bit.
It's this isn't very funny, but you can't have Snoop Dogg on Waze. He can tell you where to go on Waze. So they have done that to a certain extent, but it's not slang necessarily.
But does he? So he doesn't say like, "Hey, take a Rizzle."
He might say something like that. Yeah, I could imagine he has a little bit of fun with it.
Okay.
Wow.
But yeah, I think I'm kind of, where Ace was, where it's kind of like, I just want, my GPS to be like, you just put in the coordinates for neighborhood and it just goes, bro.
Not in this car. Not in this car.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. We got to check out Al Jackson. You will find Al on the Daily Blast Live. Thanks, Al.
And you can find me in your hearts. I love you guys.
That's right, Al. Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Hey, yo.
Right now, the Bob and Tom Show is brought to you by BetterHelp. It's easy to get caught up in all the confusion out there right now, and it just seems like it's more confusing than ever. Helping yourself is not a bad thing. That's where therapy comes in. And BetterHelp has a really good idea. It's a way to make therapy a lot more convenient. BetterHelp will connect you with a licensed therapist, and the journey of self-discovery takes place online. So you can do it wherever you are at any given moment. And the curious part of this is you can do it with talking. You could do it with a camera on or off. You could do it just texting back and forth. Whatever works for you. You fill out a brief questionnaire from BetterHelp, and you will get matched with a licensed therapist. And by the way, you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. So get some balance in your life with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/BT show today, and that'll knock 10% off your first month. BetterHelp, H-E-L-P, BetterHelp.com/BT show. We're coming right back. We're going to hang out with comedian Mike Birbiglia. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Got something to say? Send us an email. Bob and
Tell us more about scatting. Well, it's it's like in the traditional jazz sense. It's the scoot up, beat a bada. But I mean, I don't do that. I do it to classic rock only.
Right. The most famous scat is probably the worst ever.
Of Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra, a great artist, but the doobie, one of the worst,
Absolutely.
terrible scats. But
yeah, but I mean, it's hard. Like, if you're in the car and you're listening to Led Zeppelin, it's hard not to do the bow, bow, bam, doom, cack, cack, doom, bum, bam, bum, bam, bam, doom, cack, cack, doo, you know, so.
Brilliant, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I've got the notoriety came from the AC/DC, which really took sale, which is the, dun 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 Be-dun bad way on all dun 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 pa-dum 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 pa-dum
Brilliant.
Be-dun bad way on all and you know, my girlfriend's like, most people sing the lyrics.
That's true.
Okay, I
Staring
can
out the
scat
window.
Amos Moses by Jerry Reed.
Oh, yeah.
Let's hear it.
Please.
Well, on that note, we have to go. Thanks for joining us.
He's a hunting alligator down in the swamp.
AB Ford, all available at aljacksonlive.com. Rolling through a Thursday morning with you right here on Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hi, everybody. Christy Lee with your Bob and Tom Entertainment News Update. Indiana Jones and Harrison Ford will swing into Cannes today for the world premiere of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and one of the most anticipated events of the French Riviera Festival. Ford, who said Dial of Destiny will be his last performance as the character, is also set to receive an honorary Palme d'Or from the Cannes Film Festival. A grand jury in North Dakota has indicted a man who stole a pair of ruby slippers that Judy Garland wore in The Wizard of Oz. Terry Martin was indicted with one count of theft of a major artwork. It alleges that Martin stole the shoes from the Judy Garland Museum in Grand Rapids, Minnesota in 2005, where they were on loan. The FBI recovered the shoes in 2018 when a man told the shoes insurer he could help get them back. 3 other pairs of ruby slippers exist and are owned by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, the Smithsonian, and a private collector. And part of MacArthur Boulevard in Oakland, California will bear the name Tupac Shakur Way. The Oakland City Council voted unanimously to rename the stretch for Shakur, who lived in the area. The Tupac Shakur Foundation will pay for commemorative plaques and signs, and that will be unveiled at a date to be named. And that's your entertainment news. I'm Chrissy Lee. More of the Bob and Tom Show coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob and Tom.
Born in 1961, Enya. E-N-Y-A. And happy birthday, the great Trent Reznor of 9 Inch Nails.
Reznor. That was
Trent Reznor.
Wait, and don't let that distract you. I said 9 Inch Nails.
I like to pronounce.
Very, very hip. Trent Reznor.
Reznor makes him sound like a space alien. Zip Reznor.
You sound like a space alien, you old weirdo.
Bob and Tom in the morning and highlights all day long.
The Bob and Tom Show, weekday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern on Bob and Tom 24/7.
Good morning, sunshine.
Bob and Tom 24/7, 24/7, 24/7.
The Bob and Tom Show now presents the Law Minute with ex-attorney Jack Thomas.
Hello again, everybody. This is ex-attorney Jack Thomas. You know, I got a lot of mail here at the ex-law office, and today, let's open a letter. Well, this comes from young Davey Radonovich of Kokomo, Indiana. He asks, what is the difference between slander and libel? Well, what kind of idiotic, stupid question is that? What kind of little pea-brain moron would write me? I think if I were you, little Davey, I'd worry more about inbreeding than I would about the law. Davey, that was slander. If I would have written it down, it would have been libel.
This has been the Law Minute with ex-attorney Jack Thomas.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the law is your friend. It's the lawyers you have to watch out for. And remember this, the preceding has been a joke, not legal advice. Learn to know the difference.
Bob and Tom 24/7. Not on air, online, all the time.
Bob and Tom 24/7.
Yes, I have been doing lots of research, and now if you tell me who your favorite band is or what your favorite movie is or even what your favorite book is, I can tell you what you are saying about yourself.
Okay, Christy, can we start with you? Do you mind? Christy,
All right,
Christy?
My favorite movie.
Road-
Man,
is it
no
Roadhouse,
movie.
did you say?
Not Roadhouse.
Okay,
That's
not
the movie
Roadhouse.
that you can't turn away from.
Favorite movie?
My favorite movie.
Yes.
Breakfast at Tiffany with
Oh,
Audrey
my
Hepburn.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, boy, that's going to be a really mean one for me to start out on. I can
Ooh.
tell you what you're saying about yourself is, I'm not nearly as cute as I think I am. That's what that says about you. It's awful.
Okay.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I hate to start off on such a mean note.
I got you. How about your favorite band, Christy?
Say Michael Bubble or
Can I
whatever.
say Maroon 5?
Sure,
Maroon
go ahead.
5?
Yeah.
Okay. If your favorite band is Maroon 5, what you're saying about yourself is, man, 10% off every purchase? This Gap credit card was the best decision ever.
Joining us in the studio, comedian Ed Yeager.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Ed. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you again.
I'm glad football season's almost here. I love football.
I do, too.
I was I was in a hotel room, and I was watching a football game, and I opened the drawer, I pull out the Bible, I turned to John 3:16.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually says, "Sitteth thee in the end zone with a large sign."
Thanks for listening to Bob and Tom.
Check it out.
Hey, welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. At the news desk is Christy Lee.
Hello.
Hi. There's Pat Godwin in the performance room.
Hey, Chick McGee.
There's Josh Arnold.
Chick.
There's Ace Cosby. Hey. There's Willie Griswold.
Good morning.
I'm Chick McGee, and here's Tom Griswold with our special Bob and Tom legend comedian.
He is comedian Mike Birbiglia. Look, you're looking younger than ever.
Thanks.
What's going on over there? You look great.
I'm working. Trying. I don't know.
Now, this is a special moment for me because my daughter, my 10-year-old daughter, lost her mind when I told her that you were coming in. She has no idea that you're a comedian. She just knows you from the Taylor Swift video.
I get this.
I'm sure it's ruining your life. I'm sorry.
No, I like it. It's just hilarious. I mean, it's just people don't have any idea what I do.
Did it impress your daughter? Because she's of that Taylor Swift age.
She's been playing. We were just talking off air. She's doing ukulele lessons, and she's 8. And she does, she plays Shake It Off and Bad Blood and ukulele. And she's great, Of course I say that, She's a genius.
Sure.
I'm sorry to take up so much airtime with this, but my daughter is 8 and she's a musical genius. And we all know what's going to happen. She's going to be in the Hall of Fame soon. But no, she's great. And we're going to take her to the Taylor concert.
My girls have seen it
in a week.
That'll be great.
Yeah, we're pretty excited.
Mike, do you get comps for that show?
I don't think so.
You're in the video.
No, but
which one? Where are you going to go see it?
MetLife in Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's out. Is that outdoors?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yikes.
It's where the Giants and the Jets play.
Because I know the one of the ones in Nashville, there was a 4-hour rain delay.
I saw the footage on Instagram. She's a trooper, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she played fully in the rain till like 2 a.m. or something. That was outrageously cool. But I was so lucky I got to be in that video and it was one of the most. She directed it and wrote it and it was just a phenomenally cool experience.
And I didn't know you were in it, and so my girl Finn, who's 10, comes over. We have to watch the video, Dad. So we're watching the video, and I go, wait a minute, I know that guy. So she really lost her mind. So we'll have to take a picture today so I can prove that I've met you. Mike Birbiglia is our guest. Mike is a distinguished comedian and an actor too, and a writer and director. But you just concluded a Broadway stint.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah, it was a show called The Old Man and the Pool, and and we did 12 weeks on Broadway, 85 performances, and then in about a week, we're going to announce that we're taking the show, I can't even say where, but overseas for a very cool bunch of shows.
Great.
In the fall, yeah.
Now, when you do that, do you have to go back and listen to it a bunch to get, even though you've done it hundreds of times?
Oh, yeah.
Did your mind, do you just like shelve it and it goes away?
Yeah, my brain's a little scrambled because like I'm doing I'm at clubs right now, and I'm working on like my next show, next hour comedy, and so then I got to go back and rememorize that show.
When you're working on a new hour, when you first get out there, do you have to fall back on some of the previous show and things get a little slow if you're trying something that's not working?
I don't usually, but I find one of the things that's shocking is every now and then you'll do stuff from the show that was on Broadway and was a hit, blah blah, and you go and it's just dying, and you go like, well, there's nothing I can do at this point.
Yeah. This just isn't the show.
I get this is I've done this for 400,000 people at this point. They seem to like it, but I guess it's not as bulletproof as I thought.
Now, when you're taking this thing overseas to a country you can't mention,
yes,
will there have to be adjustments made for specific American-type references or English language issues that might crop up? And will you know that in advance, or will you test it out?
The biggest one, like last summer I went to Paris and London and Iceland, and the biggest one is in the show I talk a lot about going to the YMCA pool, and when I was a kid I went to the YMCA a lot. And the reason I remember is I hated everything about it. It was wet and sweaty, and I always say it smelled like, when you're a kid and your friend breaks their arm, they let you smell under their cast. It's like if that smell became a building, and then someone just sprayed too much chlorine on it, and I have just a whole run like about how I don't think, and I'm sure I feel like Tom, you have the same level of neurosis about this. I don't think they're using the right amount of chlorine at the YM. Like I don't know what the hell kind of heinous crime they're covering up with that chlorine, but something went down. Like there was a mob hit in the middle of the night. Bunch of goons are like, do we dig a ditch or do we bring the body down to the YMCA pool? I got a family membership. We use a guest pass for the corpse. We drop it in the pool. It disintegrates within 6 hours. It's a lot of chlorine.
So was that a non-relatable over there, or did you have
had to adjust into like the rec center? I went to the YMCA pool. I used to go to it's kind of like how you folks have the rec center here, and like that, and then it's fine. Like, it's amazing how with jokes, as long you can even be over talk it, but if they just need to know what their comp is on it.
Mm-hmm. So they over chlorinate at the rec center.
Apparently.
It's universal.
Same problem.
How cool. That's great. Mike Birbiglia is our guest. And are you still playing the guitar a little bit?
I do a little bit. I got an awesome. Pat was just asking me. I just got a new guitar after like 10 years. I was in Nashville. I actually have my Ryman Auditorium shirt on, but one of my favorite bands is Milk Carton Kids, and this guy Kenneth Pattingale in the group has a Martin modeled after him, and I just bought that recently. It's one of those guitars. No matter how bad you are, and I'm really bad, it makes you sound pretty good. So my daughter, who is a genius, it doesn't matter. I'm able to play little duets with her on ukulele.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
We're going to take a little break. We're going to come right back with Mike, see what's going on with Mr. Birbiglia and what other projects he has in the offing. Also, have a couple of news stories we have to get to. Christy, can you give me the teaser?
Yeah, we never got to our Shawshank story yesterday. We'll get to that because we talked about it all morning long and never did it. And then we have a horrible story from a church and a woman and an altar.
Dear.
And
that's awful.
Yeah. And then, of course, the ruby slippers that were stolen.
Yeah, we got. They tracked down the ruby slippers after 7 years, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Got a comment? Our email is
Behind me is the infield of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm here to give you some of the fashion do's and don'ts of the biggest party at the race. Let's talk footwear on race day. You want to wear something comfortable, something you can walk in, something not too expensive. My choice, the Nike Air Monarchs. They're in your garage, next to the lawnmower. Your dad wears them. Don't wear this. This is a Croc. I don't care if it's in sport mode. The holes do give you hilarious tan lines, but you don't want to get any trough juice on your little toesies. If you run into a man wearing these, run away. Any man wearing weatherproof boots at the track has a mind for destruction. He washed his face in the trough this morning. He's been drinking Mountain Dew and moonshine since 6 a.m. If you bump into him, give him a go Colts and keep it moving. What to wear on race day. In the morning, it'll be a little colder. This is my favorite piece of clothing that I own. Indianapolis Motor Speedway. No big deal. Any shirt with the name of an alcohol and the word racing is one of the coolest things you can wear here. This one's sort of a deep cut. Rolling Stone shirt. The concert took place at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Colt skier will do, but I say go the extra mile. This is a Colt shirt with a St. Elmo shrimp cocktail. I'm not a big fan of wearing sports jerseys for a team that is out of season. Colts aren't playing, and the Pacers also aren't playing. Quick rule for basketball jerseys at the race. You want to wear your Larry Bird Indiana State jersey? Don't. You want to wear your Reggie Miller jersey? Don't. Rick Smits? Don't. Paul George? Don't think about it. George Hill? Not at all. It's too expensive, too cool, and it's going to get covered in Busch Light. You want to wear a Lance Stevenson jersey. Any Pacer that was here less than 3 years. Maybe a Danny Granger jersey. If you're wearing a basketball jersey, pop it off around lap 50. I hear you. Willie, I have a gut. If you're embarrassed about being fat, move to France. This is America and you're allowed to have a gut. You're saying, Willie, I got pimples on my back. I got stretch marks. This time of the year, that's your stars and stripes, my friend. Pop it off and let that flag fly. This is the coolest thing you can wear at the race, an actual Indy 500 shirt. Bonus points if you have an armpit hole or some sort of fraying around the neck. There is one more acceptable shirt to wear to the race. This is what a race fan looks like. Garfield's creator, Jim Davis, is from Indiana. The most famous person from Indiana. Suck it, Greg Kinnear. On race day, you're going to want a nice hat. You can go with an official Indianapolis Motor Speedway hat, or you can go with a cooler Indianapolis 500 hat that I got on 16th Street from a guy selling tacos. Anything with the word Indy on it. I'd recommend a Colts hat or a Pacers hat. The coolest hat you can wear on race day, however, is a Late Night with David Letterman hat. Of course, owner of the Letterman Ray Hall team. I do not want to see a Jay's Garage hat. I don't want to see anything Team Coco. If you have a Daily Show hat and it's spelled D-A-L-Y like Connor Daly, that could fly.
Just me.
That would be to become a Bob and Tom VIP.
Very good. Now, Josh, what's a feature of Bob and Tom VIP?
Wait a minute.
Well, the live 5-camera video stream of the show, plus a podcast of the show and comedy from the Bob and Tom archives.
Excellent. Chick, what do you have to say for yourself?
Become a Bob and Tom VIP now. Just go to bobandtom.com/VIP.
See, that was worth the wait, wasn't it?
Hi, this is Dr. Will Miller, and you're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
Kevin Pollak is our guest, a very fine comedian and actor. Do you have a sort of a formal, studious way of grabbing one of these impressions and getting to it? And do you work it in clubs, or do you work it for your friends, or do you go to one director?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Is this...
I think more for friends. I used to just put a new voice on my phone answering machine, as the outgoing message. And then friends would leave a message saying, that sucks. Don't do that anymore. But I had a strange thing. I first learned to do Albert Brooks, who I'd been a fan of for so many years, and I left this message on my machine. Hi, it's Albert. Listen, I don't feel good. I'm going to go lie down. But here's the thing. Kevin's not here, okay? I'm sorry. Leave a message. I'm nauseous. I'm going to go lie down. I can't do impressions. Who do I do? Art Carney. Hey, Ralphie boy. You see, it's terrible. Call back. Leave a message. I don't care. Goodbye.
That's brilliant.
And then I got all these calls and hang-ups. Which people, I guess, just listening to the message. And then this is when I first moved to Los Angeles. I hadn't done any movies or anything. And then I get this message. Hi, this is Rob Reiner. You don't know me. I'm Albert's one of his best friends. We grew up together. That's amazing. And he hung up. And I'm dancing around the apartment for about an hour. I can't believe Rob Reiner called me.
Actually
and then,
called you.
Yeah, and then after an hour, I realized, you idiot, you could have spoken to Rob Reiner. Because when I heard his voice, I just froze. I was standing next to the machine listening to him leave the message.
Oh, my.
Then I get another call. Hi, this is Carl Reiner. Now, at that point, I dive at the phone because I'm ready to talk to any Reiner. So I talked to Carl, and no, I'd never met him or any famous people really at that point. And he said, have you heard what's happened with this impression? I said, well, I've just been getting lots of hang-ups. He said, well, I guess Jerry Seinfeld is a friend of yours. He called his manager, who's business partners with me, and then I started calling everybody after I listened to it. And I called Rob. I said, yeah, Rob left me a message. Yeah, right. And then Rob called Albert, apparently. And Albert called your machine, didn't leave a message, but called Rob right back and said, is that me, really? Come on, Rob. Sounds like my Uncle Zeke.
Hey, guy, it's Ken Tarmac. You're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hey, welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. At the news desk, it's Christy Lee.
Hello.
There's Pat Godwin in the performance room.
Hey, Chick.
There's Josh Arnold.
Chick.
There's Ace Cosby. Hey. There's Willie Griswold.
Good morning.
I'm Chick McGee, and here's Tom Griswold with our special guest.
He is Mike Birbiglia, and Mike is a longtime friend of the show. We, at one point, had a special jingle introducing him. The first time he was here, he talked about how his name is somewhat, I guess, combustible in the world of intros, and he would be introduced as Mike Bahuski and various other things. So we had our jingle singers do that just to make him feel special. Mike is a distinguished veteran stand-up comedian, and he's just concluded his Broadway hunk. He's going to be taking it elsewhere, overseas, fairly soon. Right now he's working on a new hour, and was kind enough to stop by. And before we get back to Mike, I think we should probably squeeze in a couple news stories.
Well, I think we need to do the one we promoted all day yesterday and never got to. A Maryland man accused of stealing a military truck just minutes after bonding out of jail. Authorities told Law and Crime that the 39-year-old man, Mr. Michael David Stevens II, was booked at the Hartford County Detention Center for allegedly skipping his theft trial and was released after posting a $1,500 unsecured bond.
He couldn't cut it on the outside, huh?
It's the old Shawshank.
Yeah. Just 35 minutes after his release, Josh, Hartford County Sheriff's officials said deputies responded to the report of a man stealing a privately owned 5-ton military vehicle. First of all, who privately owns a 5-ton military vehicle?
Cool guys. Guys with lots of ladies.
You can have this 5-ton military vehicle. Pry it out of my cold, dead hands.
The man led authorities on a chase from Bel Air to Baltimore City, where he abandoned the vehicle and attempted to flee on foot. He was arrested on charges of motor vehicle theft, assault, and failing to obey a lawful order.
This guy likes prison food.
He's now back at the Hartford County Detention Center, this time being held without bond.
Ah, okay. Well, good.
Been a long time since he was on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, went and got himself in a great big hurry. You're not going to hear a lot of Brooks impressions.
I'm new around here. Was that Charlton Heston?
James Whitmore, please.
Oh, that's who that was. Nice.
Please.
That is such a great movie, and it was.
I have never seen it.
It was not a hit when it came out.
People watch it today, kind of thing. It's that good. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, I honestly think the reason it flopped was because of the title.
Sure, that's one of the
big reason. It doesn't. It's
Nobody knew what it was about.
yeah, and that's a shortened version of the title of the short story by Stephen King.
Well, you're telling me it flopped?
Yeah, it originally went in the theaters. It was not a success.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
it's a
Who knew?
sleeper hit.
It's not a success at the theaters.
Members of a Tennessee church have had their prayers answered after a stolen truckload of organ pipes was recovered. Members of the Calvary.
now where's that inside us? The organ pipes. It goes from the Langerhans. What is it, Tom?
Oh yeah,
up to your spine, and then.
Members of the Calvary Episcopal Church in Memphis had loaded a Penske truck with nearly 2,000 organ pipes for transport to Spencer Organ Company in Boston, where they were to undergo restoration. Instead, the church discovered the truck and almost 90-year-old pieces of the organ gone. The church said in a press release the truck was later located in Raleigh. Though some of the crates were missing, those that were recovered were loaded onto a new truck and then bound for Boston.
They couldn't have known what was on the truck when they stole it.
Of course not.
Probably not. Does that restoration company resell the organs, or do they give them away? I'm just curious if they're in.
No.
There we go.
Mike, you any idea where I'm going with this?
I think so.
They might be an organ
donor.
Oh wow!
Couldn't even let him come on.
Wow.
No,
I did not want to finish it.
Yeah, I like that you talked me through it slowly. It was as though I was from Europe.
I really like the setup where you were pretending you didn't know how this company operated.
Yeah.
This is a company. They might give stuff away. We don't know.
15 of the 55 or so crates that were loaded on the truck are missing. They're hoping they'll be located, but if not, those pipes can be recreated if need be. So
it's got a happy ending.
It does have a happy ending. Okay. This does not. A woman in Ohio was arrested after she allegedly defecated on a church altar.
Did she?
Yes, according to a criminal complaint, 26-year-old Laura Miniard evacuated her bowels. Boy, I know who wrote that. On the chapel at Cincinnati's Good Samaritan Hospital.
Pooping in the chapel and we're gonna try to rest
She allegedly then used the fabric runner on the altar to wipe her.
Come on. First off, comedically, the collection plate is the funnier place to do it because then it's being passed around.
Oh my God!
No, I said, go sit by the pew.
Oh God!
She's also, it gets worse.
Yeah, it does?
She's also accused of taking a picture from the chapel and smearing feces on the altar table.
You know, picture it didn't happen. That kind of thing.
Is this like a mental health thing?
She was arrested. For,
No, she's totally sane. What do you think?
I mean, is it some weird revenge?
Is it a protest of some sort, or?
No motive.
You're not going to get a lot of YouTube likes for that.
Yeah, something's screwed up.
She was arrested for desecrating a place of worship, as she should.
Of course she was. Okay.
I may have told you this before, but I was an altar boy as a kid, and the answer is no. I think it's because they knew I was a talker. But it's funny even hearing that story, imagining.
Yeah.
Because we, as altar boys, we used to sit on the side, and sort of the game was on the altar. And can you even imagine? It feels, everything in a church, especially when you're a kid, feels so sacred.
Sure.
The rug, the altar, the this, the that. I mean, it's astonishing.
Especially when you're back there and you have to clean and take care of things.
Yeah.
I did that growing up, too. I wasn't an altar
Did you
kid,
watch the celebrants drinking a lot of the wine? Would they be backstage doing a couple of shots?
Well, they have to drink it after it's consecrated. Yeah. They can't throw it away.
I'm just wondering if there was like pre-gaming going on.
Our priest.
Really?
No. Oh, yeah, we had a drunk priest, yeah.
Oh, I see.
That
but with the consecrated wine?
Yeah, that's what he would drink.
The wine tastes terrible.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's horrible.
I never knew. I remember, without naming names, the priests. I remember that the priests were always very annoyed at me because I was fidgety. I was moving around during church. I wasn't lighting the candles right. And this one guy used to sort of say, "Michael," he'd like sort of snap at me. And I was thinking, man, this is rough being an altar boy. And then I grow up and find out what they were really doing. I was like, this could have gone much worse.
Talking to you.
Yeah. I believe your phrase was they didn't do anything to you because you were a talker. That was the joke that I remember. We have to get to the Ruby Slipper story.
I got it right here. A man's been indicted by a grand jury on theft charges for stealing a pair of the ruby red slippers worn by Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz. The shoes, which were on loan to the Judy Garland Museum in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, were stolen in 2005. The road to the missing slippers began when a man told the shoes insurer in 2017 he could help get them back. After nearly a year-long investigation, the FBI recovered the stolen shoes in a sting operation. No one was arrested at the time, but this week, a summons was issued for 76-year-old Terry Martin. Federal prosecutors said he was indicted with one count of theft of a major artwork. When they were stolen, the slippers were on loan from Hollywood memorabilia collector Michael Shaw, who received an insurance payment 7 years after the theft. And at the time, the slippers were insured for $1 million. Current market value, $3.5 million.
Wow. I've seen some in the Smithsonian.
Yeah,
they're gross looking. They're not. I mean, they haven't aged well. Huh?
This pair probably is encrusted with more than just rubies.
Oh,
I'm guessing there was no wife to question in there.
There are 4 sets of these. Is that correct?
One's in a private collection. One's at the Smithsonian. And where's the other one? This pair, and then I can't remember what the other one was.
Are any of them in Kansas?
I don't think so.
Not anymore.
That's kind of a bummer, right?
Not anymore. Very good, Pat.
Thank you.
You tap them a couple times and whoosh, off you go. Well, thank you very much. Give me the teaser, Christy.
Coming up, we have a bunch of bees in the news swarming an officer. We have a chicken loose. And
do kids still care about the Wizard of Oz? That was like a big deal when I was a kid.
It was a huge deal.
Like it was a family night. Like when that would show on TV.
Easter,
it was scary.
everybody came around. Yeah.
But remember,
have your girls seen
all the farm hands were in this movie. Later, as like the Lion and the Tin Man.
Mike, it wasn't until very late that Chick realized that the folks at the farm were the characters in the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the old lady was the witch.
You were like a grown man.
I think I'm a grown man when I discovered that.
Really?
I mean, Josh, we're not all geniuses like you and my daughter. Yeah, and your little club that you have.
It is lonely here.
If you were listening to that exchange with your Raycon earbuds, it would have sounded really good.
Here's Raycon's mission to prove that you shouldn't have to pay an arm and a leg and maybe another arm and a leg for quality sound and those essential smart tech listening features all the hot earbuds have. With Raycon, you can get a pair to spare. That's how affordable they are, and still pay less than you would with some of those other big-name tech brands out there. Raycon knows that in these times, every purchase needs to almost be perfect. And Raycon has buy now, pay later options. They have an easy and free return guarantee, and they offer free domestic shipping and flat fee international shipping. And Raycon, 50,000 five-star reviews. And how about 8 hours of playback with your Raycons? Crystal clear call quality and water and sweat resistance so you can work out with your Raycons. And I got a deal for you. They already low price. Go to buyraycon.com/Tom today and get 15% off your Raycon order. That's buyraycon.com/Tom. 15% off your Raycon purchase. That's buyraycon.com/Tom.
Thank you very much, Chick McGee. We're going to come right back. We're hanging out with comedian Mike Birbiglia. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Hello, this is comedian.
In 1989, Emerson Fittipaldi won the 500. On the last lap, he and Little Al touched wheels on the north turn, and he sent Little Al right in the fence, crashed him. But Emerson Fittipaldi came around and won the 500, his first 500 in 1989. And that was also the year that the winner's share of the purse was over $1 million, first time. It was like $1,001,600 or something like that. So that was a big deal. I mean, the Indianapolis 500 has always had the biggest purse of any motorsports event. They were the first to go over $1 million, and they still to this day have the largest purse of any, bigger than Daytona, bigger than anybody's. So race morning after the 500 every year is the big pictures. The winner and the crew all come back to the speedway at 9 a.m. and they put the car on the straightaway and they take all the sponsor photos on all these pictures. Well, Ron McQueenie was the chief photographer at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for 40 years. And Ron had the great idea, we need to take $1 million in cash and place it on Emerson's car. So they get hold of the office, we need $1 million in cash. All right. So they bring out $1 million in cash in these bags with real money. Yeah, this is the day after the 500. And they had armed guards out there. And so they get the money out of the bags and they're stacking it all over Emerson's car. And they step back and they look and they go, you know, that's really not that impressive. Go back and get another $1 million. Now, where else in the world can you say on a Monday morning, Memorial Day morning, go back and get another? Well, they did. And they take another one. And Ron told me, he goes, at one point, I was reaching out to adjust a stack of cash, and this guard went, hey. Like, he didn't like my idea of me touching the dough. So if you ever look at that picture from 1989, you can Google it, Emerson Fittipaldi, 1989, and there's money stacked all over the car. That's actually $2 million in cash stacked all over that car. Indianapolis, believe it or not, at one point was the biggest manufacturer house, the most car manufacturers anywhere. This is before Detroit took over. And Detroit ended up taking over because they were right on the Lake Michigan, and it was easier to get ore and steel and everything, the raw materials. For some reason, this was where cars manufacturers were. Well, they wanted a test facility. Carl Fisher, who owned Prestolite, and Prestolite was a big factory, and they made a bunch of different stuff, but one of them, they made headlights for automobiles, was his big deal. He ended up going on to develop Miami. He turned Miami into a vacation place, but he was one of the 4 founders. And they go, we need a place. Well, Speedway at that time, that was out in the country. And so they bought this property. How big are we going to make the track? And they're kicking it around. And they made the track 2.5 miles because that's what fit in the property they had bought. That's how that became, the property they had, it became 2.5 miles. And it was a test track. And they just started promoting it as the biggest and the best and the da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But that's where the Indianapolis 500 is where a lot of innovation took place for years, like brakes and shocks and tires and safety. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the IndyCar Series have pioneered safety in automobiles. So how did it become the biggest and the best? I mean, just the daringness of the drivers, the innovation that took place, and again, the purses were always the biggest, and it was just where everybody from all over the world wanted to come.
All night.
Really? No, seriously. Really?
Bob and Tom 24/7. 24/7. 24/7.
Vegetarians always want to force feed you their food, of course. I mean, the garden burger. The garden burger, it tastes just like a hamburger.
No, it doesn't.
A garden burger is to hamburger what a post-op transvestite is to a woman. It looks something like it, but one whiff will tell you that's not tuna fish, it's cat food, and it's not fit for human consumption.
Hey, wait a minute.
Jesus said, take this bread and eat it. It is my body. And the disciples said, Jesus, we're all on a low-carb diet. We appreciate you dying for our sins, but we're all trying to slim down a little. We want to look good in the painting.
Hey, it's Roy Wood Jr. You're listening.
Hey, welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. Christy Lee at the news desk.
Hi, Chick.
Hi, there's Pat Godwin in the performance room.
Hello.
Hello, there's Josh Arnold.
Hey, Chick.
There's Ace Cosby. Hey. There's Willie Griswold.
Good morning.
I'm Chick McGee, and here's Tom, and we have a special guest today.
Thank you very much, Chick McGee. He is comedian Mike Birbiglia, and Mike is doing some road work, working on some new stuff. His Broadway show, The Old Man in the Pool, is going to be going overseas fairly soon. It's all top secret.
It's all top secret.
He's not going to be overseas, but Willie G and Reno Collier tonight, Summit City Comedy Club, Fort Wayne, Indiana, and then you'll be at Dayton's Funny Bone Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, come hang out. There's links to tickets in my Instagram bio at willie.griswold. Gonna be fun.
Now, we have Christy Lee at the Bob and Tom News Desk. Before we get back to news, let's catch up a little bit more with Mike Birbiglia. You've been living in New York City for quite some time now.
I live in Brooklyn. I live with my wife and daughter, and I was just thinking of you guys the other day because we took my daughter for Mother's Day to see her grandmother in Florida, and it's very, very sunny, and she got freckles, and my wife got freckles. And she said a pretty good joke. She goes to my wife. She goes, it's like you took freckle juice, you drank freckle juice, except it worked. I mean, she's 8.
Yeah.
She's 8 years old. That's a pretty good joke, right?
Yep.
So then my wife, a few minutes later, she goes, it's like you took freckle juice, except it worked. And then Una starts crying. To me, I go, what's wrong? She goes, Mom stole my joke. and I go, welcome to being a grown-up.
Yeah, welcome to being a comedian. You ever know one of those comedians in the green room? Everyone else's joke, basically. I did that. I hated having freckles as a kid. Hated it.
Oh, really?
I think it's a gorgeous quality.
I couldn't stand it. And I called freckle face all the time. And
were you really?
They faded.
This explains a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, I'm full of hate. Don't get yourself...
No pubes, freckle face, right?
Yeah, you really
pubes came very late to me.
Yeah,
that was a big problem.
Piglet, yeah, right.
Yeah, hence my hate of most jocks.
Sure.
But that's what I've noticed about 8 years old is where I'm finding I can relate to my daughter. Like, she'll come home from school, she'll go, Margaret doesn't want me to be friends with Alice. She only wants me to be friends with Margaret. And I'll be like, well, Margaret doesn't get to decide who you're friends with. And Una goes, pfft. And I was like, I know what you mean. You know what I mean? It's like the first time we really got each other. But don't you think, Tom, I mean, you and Christy are probably the most experienced parents in the room. It's like, don't you think your kids at a certain point, pretty early, they start to have the same problems as we do?
Oh, yeah.
I'm dealing with it right now.
Yeah.
The exact thing you're talking about. It was an issue with who can sit next to who on the bus, going to the field day, and blah, blah, blah. You hate that mean girl thing that kicks in.
Oh, and junior high's the worst.
I've put it.
I'm sorry.
I was
8th
just
grade.
I was just talking to a friend of mine who has a 3-year-old, and I said, my dad used to tell me there's nothing better in this world than a 3 or a 4-year-old. And I always tap it with, you'll never hear anyone say, 13, that's a great age.
Yeah.
Never been spoken.
Well, she's 8, right? And so it's wonderful, but I'm not able to live in the present. So all I can do in my mind is flash forward to when she's 16 and she's like, my dad is garbage, you know. And when I was a kid, nobody listened to kids, but now I'm going to have to be like, she's so brave. I am garbage. She's so right. We need to raise her platform. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So 3, 4, that's the best age, huh, Tom? Is that why you keep having them?
Yeah.
And that's how Christy brings it up.
There it is.
It could have been an offline thing.
I mean, I would rather spend time with a 4-year-old than almost any adult that I know. They're just they're so great. The way they see the world, it rubs off on you. You start feeling great about it. Start feeling great about life.
Plus, you can tell them what the reality is, and they don't question you.
Yeah, they believe. Remember when you
they believe anything. Yeah.
Always a good excuse to get ice cream.
That's what you like to do.
Remember when you thought your teacher, you're till about 3rd grade, I think, you think your teachers are always right?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
I remember being 18, saying something in a college class that I learned from you, and then looking around the room, and everyone looked at me like I was an idiot, and I was like, oh, my dad is also an idiot. He's not always
I thought that was going in a different direction.
Do you remember what it was?
I do, but I don't want to say it on air.
Oh, okay.
We'll leave it right there. Is that okay?
It was the conspiracy theory about World War II. No, it was
King Ferdinand.
when Una was, I remember when Una was 3, I was reading her this book about penguins, and I just made up a goofy. When they're that young, like Tom's saying, they're joyous. You know, you can make up jokes, and they think they're great. I go, what does the penguin say to her parents when she's hungry? And she says, what? And I said, what'll we have for dinner? And she's like, because she's like, what'll we have for dinner? Because 1, kids love puns, and 2, all toddlers sort of have a Boston accent. They're like, I'm tired. And Boston toddlers are like, I'm wicked tired.
That's true. Mike Birbiglia is our guest. And Mike has been doing stand-up comedy since you were living in Washington, D.C. in college.
Yeah. I've been doing this 25 years now. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
I walked in here. I walked in this room 20 years ago. I mean, this has got to be 20th anniversary of me coming on the show.
Yeah, and then you probably don't remember this, but you and I kind of became friends because I was driving down the road.
You mean kind of friends?
Yeah. Kind of insulting. I mean beyond the show.
Okay.
No, I think we're friends. We're friends.
No.
We see each other outside the show, Chick, just because you don't.
No. I don't go anywhere.
Doesn't make it that I don't.
I'm locked down.
So I'm driving down the road.
Lockdown.
And there's a guy in a hoodie walking. Is like the 2 in the afternoon, and it was. And I realized that's the guy that was on our show yesterday, and it was Mike Birbiglia. So I stopped, and you were walking to a Starbucks.
Yeah.
And so I picked you up, and we went over to Starbucks. And you started coming on all of our trips down to the Bahamas. We had a blast. Got to meet your brother Joe. So we've known you for a long time. And I say this to preface the following:
What?
You are a professional comedian.
That's correct.
That's
all correct.
Yes. So I'll put it this way.
Okay.
I always put it this way. Even Tiger Woods takes an occasional golf lesson. So as a professional comedian, with all due respect, we would like to school you a little bit in comedy. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, wow. With a deep voice. Ace Cosby, here he is with his joke of the day.
Getting worried. I went to the deli yesterday.
Yeah.
Said I want to buy a bagel with cream cheese. And the kid behind the counter says, sorry, we only take cash or credit cards.
Sure. Cream cheese is not a form of currency.
That's a great joke.
Yes, of course.
That's a great joke.
If you're 8.
Oh, come on. That's a strong joke.
Oh, thank you, Ace. That's certainly enjoyable.
See, that's why I don't go out. See, that stuff's out there.
That's what's out in the world.
That's right.
That's not in your house.
That's right.
Okay, well, let's see if we've missed anything in the world of news and chat with Christy Lee.
Well, I have really bad news for you if you're planning on doing a crime. Scientists are saying it's now possible to retrieve DNA from thin air or even a footprint on the beach.
Whoa.
Yeah, researchers from the University of Florida who were using environmental DNA to study endangered sea turtles noticed they were also picking up human DNA from sand as well as in the oceans and rivers surrounding the lab. Study co-author David Duffy said, quote, all this very personal ancestral and health-related data is freely available in the environment and simply floating around in the air right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was talking to a lawyer not too long ago that was a criminal lawyer guy, and he was telling me that all this news we're reading all the time about DNA is really biasing juries They go, well, how come there's no DNA? Well, it's not there for every case. All this sort of science that we half-ass learn. Folks in the jury go, well, that's not proof. You don't have any DNA.
That's right. If no DNA, you must have quit, right? Isn't that
Yeah. I don't know.
how it goes? Yeah.
I mean, footprints on the beach?
Yeah, well.
It's the sea turtle's fault. Didn't you hear?
Yeah, it sure is.
First, they ruined straws for us.
Yeah.
And now,
DNA.
Yes.
Now rhymes.
Exactly.
And then with the footprints on the beach, they can always tell who it is when there's two sets of footprints,
it.
and then it's only one set of
Yeah,
That's right. Wow. Profound. And that's when the show became profound.
That's direct from my aunt's refrigerator.
Josh, where would we find the most DNA at your place?
No,
we don't
not in
gotta
front
play
of
this.
guests.
Mike, I know. This is a T-shirt. Yeah.
DNA on the XXL.
That's right. XXLT. Thank you very much.
Oh, does that stand for tall?
It does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, you do have a tall torso.
I do have a tall torso.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
That sounds like an exercise in broadcasting. Read the sentence.
Yeah, it does.
You too have a tall torso.
Big black rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Mike, I was just going to go back in time here. Do you remember the first time you were on stage? Was it when you were doorman at the
Washington D.C. Improv? Yeah, I was actually I entered I went to college at Georgetown in D.C. and I entered the funniest person on campus contest. I was actually back there recently, like 2 weeks ago. And I walked up on the stage, and it was in front. It was this place called Gaston Hall. It was in front of 600 people. I did stand up for the first time, wow. and yeah, it was shocking because it was like, oh wow, this is a scary place to do stand up for the first time. And I won this contest, and Nick Kroll was in the contest too. That's how he and I met, and then we became friends and worked on a bunch of stuff together. And then yeah, I got the chance to work the door at the DC Improv. I opened for Dave Chappelle and Brian Regan and all these, Margaret Cho, all these great comics. And George Lopez has just kind of studied. That was comedy college for me, worked in the door. I always say to young comics, like, coming up, is like, try to get a job at a comedy club because you get to watch the comics for free. Because I remember in college, I couldn't afford to go to a comedy club. I went to Flip Orley. You ever meet Flip Orley, comic hypnotist?
No.
So when I was in college,
I love
No, but I want to.
Yeah, I do now.
The first comedy club I ever went to was DC Improv. I went to Flip Orley, comic hypnotist, and afterwards I'm like, well, that's all the money I have. You know what I mean? Like I was fully broke. I was like, I guess I'm never going back to a comedy club. And then I got a job working the door, and then I could get to see everybody. And you just study these people.
Do you remember your first joke?
Oh gosh, my jokes early on were so just ridiculous because the first joke that I had that landed was I was living with my girlfriend at the time, and I said she's starting to get to the age where she's thinking about having kids, which is sad because we're going to have to break up. Because I've decided I'm not going to have kids until I'm sure that nothing else good can happen in my life. And I still feel that way, except I have a child. But that was the first time I had a joke where like it worked and I understood why it worked, if that makes sense. Like I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of how I feel. But you wouldn't say it in polite company.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, I'm on to something there. And then it ended up being sort of the basis. I used that joke in my movie Sleepwalk With Me and the show Sleepwalk With Me as kind of like a pivotal point. But early on, I was like, I would do jokes about nothing. I would do, I'd hate to be a stick insect because all the other insects are always bumping into you and you got to be like, watch it. And they're like, you look like a stick. And you're like, yeah, I have eyes. And they're like, yeah, they were closed. That's the whole joke. I love that. That's it. That's the whole joke.
I swear, I love that bit.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I love that too. Great.
He turns it in, hey, watch it.
Mike Birbiglia is our guest, and his Broadway show.
So the old man in the pool.
it may be resurfacing in an electronic medium sometime.
Correct.
But you are taking it live to another continent.
That's all correct. And they'll know in a week. If you sign up on Birbiglia.com for the mailing list, you can get the newsletter. And it'll be a broad place that you might want to visit in September because it's just spectacular there.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
No hints. You just won't need Rosetta Stone.
Yes. Oh, wow. That's quite a hint.
That's like a huge hint. That's like, I'm not saying who got kicked off American Idol, but I can't believe she got kicked off.
So sorry. Have we done everything in the news? Or have we missed
Not everything, but is there anything?
There's some stories you don't want to.
I like the.
You sounded reluctant to.
Well, I like the chicken story, and I think it's. Well, you see what you go ahead.
A Mexico City subway system ground to a halt after a chicken got loose on the tracks.
Really?
Yeah, video distributed by the city's metro system showed maintenance personnel and civil defense officers in hard hats chasing the elusive bird around the tracks with brooms, gloves, and a trash bag.
Now, if this were New York, do you think anyone would care?
Hey, there's a chicken on the truck. There we go.
Oh, my God. Jeez.
Problem solved.
The subway didn't even enter into it.
No. Did you do that sound effect with your mouth, Chick? That was impressive. New York subway is wild. I was on the other day, and a person took off their shoes on the side. I was like,
Yeah.
And then they took off their pants. Same person. And I was like, oh, I long for the good old days when they just took off their shoes. Those were the good times. I didn't know how good I had it. And then, but what was wild about the scenario is that it was one of those situations where it was a lady took off her pants, and before that, she seemed like she had it together.
Oh.
Like I was like, maybe she's a CPA or a notary or something. And then she took the pants off, and I was like, something's up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm no detective, but something's afoot.
We'll find out more about the chicken on the subway tomorrow. Right now, we turn to Mr. Chick McGee.
Yes, the Simply Safe, where you lock your compound down and stay at home. Simply Safe Home Security. Enjoy greater peace of mind. Maybe you're going on vacation soon. And Simply Safe has monitored by around-the-clock trained agents ready to defend your home against break-ins, fires, and other threats. It's the security system you design yourself and then install yourself. It's the top-rated Simply Safe app. You can arm and disarm your system right there on the app on your smartphone. Check your cameras. Make sure everything's okay at your home. And Simply Safe comes right to your door and is easy to set up yourself, of course, in about 30 minutes. Or you can have Simply Safe certified technicians install it for you. And they have financing through a firm, so you can secure your home today, get peace of mind, and just pay installments over time that fit your budget. Customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes. Go to simplysafetom.com and claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off your order with interactive monitoring. That's simplysafetom.com. Remember, there's no safe like Simply Safe.
This is unbelievable.
What?
Birbig's daughter truly is going to become a comedian. I just popped up my thing, and there's an ad there for Freckle Juice T-shirts. she's got merch.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
T-shirts.
We'll be right back. This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Thanks for listening to the Bob and Tom Show this morning. Catch any part of the show you missed later today on our YouTube channel.
The night before the 500 in the 60s and 70s really made Sodom and Gomorrah look like a retirement community. I mean, Georgetown Road, the Coke Lot, oh my gosh. The snake pit, the stories of the old snake pit. I remember seeing packs of Indiana State Troopers in packs of 15 to 20 walking, trying to regain some sort of semblance of humanity in that first turn snake pit. I mean, throwing girls up on blankets and drinking and motorcycles and setting cars on fire and setting sofas on fire, and it was just unbelievable. How more people didn't get killed in there every year, I have no idea. But that was a lot of people's introduction to the Indianapolis 500 was as you're a young kid going in there and you party, and who won what? There's a race, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, look at that. And then, next year, wow, look, hey, who, what, Herdebees? Well, I better get out. So then all of a sudden you buy it. So that was your introduction. Now you're buying tickets, and then your girlfriend, now your wife. All of a sudden your kids, you're introducing them. You know, it just grew. That's how a lot of people were introduced to it. I never forget one time we were doing a show. We were doing the Bob and Tom show. I was on it there on Carb Morning, and they were live in the infield. Townsend Bell, I had gotten Townsend Bell when he was still driving to be on the show. So at that morning, I was Tom, Christie, Townsend Bell. Pat McAfee was sitting here, then Bob, and Chick McGee. Okay. And so we're talking back and forth. And at one point, Tom looks at Townsend Bell, and he goes, so Townsend, who do you think is going to win the Indianapolis 500 this year? And Townsend Bell looks right at Pat McAfee. He goes, Pat, you're a professional athlete. Do you ever get used to the media asking you stupid questions? Bob and Chick hit their feet. They were applauding, standing ovation. Oh my gosh! One of the biggest laughs. It was just phenomenal.
I'm Chick McGee, and that's your Bob and Tom Sports Update.
Hey man, it's Donnie Baker, and the fact remains there's nothing better than being a VIP. And I don't mean like us dudes on Pervert Rabbit Xanadu's. I'm talking about a Bob and Tom VIP. Best thing, you'll never miss another minute of the show. I swear to God, you can hear the show here in the morning, and then cause you're a Bob and Tom VIP, you'll get the podcast of the entire show, a 12-month library of podcasts, hundreds of Bob and Tom comedy tapes, and a 60-day video archive of the show. Bob and Tom VIP. You have to get it. It's state law.
This is Bob and Tom 24/7, 24/7, 24/7, 24/7.
Hey man, it's Donnie Baker. You know, there are just certain sounds in my life that kind of bring it all home for me. Like when the bubbles fizz if you twist open a fresh Mountain Dew. Or the crack of a bat over your neighbor's mailbox. You deserved it, Mitchell. Or the sound of a judge saying dismissed, you know, because a cop didn't show. Man, all them sounds come and go. But my favorite sound of all times also goes along with my favorite smell. I swear to God it does. You know what I'm talking about. Tell them, girls.
Beer farts.
They may be silent, they may be loud. They always leave a toxic cloud. They make your large intestines proud.
Beer farts.
Open a beer and take a sip. Have a pickled egg and some chili dip. Then lift your leg, man, and let them rip. I know.
Beer farts. If you drink hops and barley, you'll belch just like a frog. And when you feel like breaking wind,
just blame it on the dog. This one time I took a stripper to bed. I had to sneeze, but I farted instead. It blew glitter all over the bed. Sorry, Roxy.
beer farts. Here's a little party trick. When you're passing gas, bend over and light a match.
And flame shoots out your ass. So if you're out drinking beer, and your colon just kicks into gear, say, pull my finger, dear.
Beer farts.
Sometimes I can even synchronize them to music. I swear to God I can.
Beer farts.
Man, at the last church picnic, I drank a pitcher of Michelob's, and out came Amazing Grace. Beer farts. I swear to God it did. Got it on tape. Ask Reverend Coopers.
Bob and Tom, you can pick your morning radio show, and you can pick your nose, but you can't wipe Bob and Tom on the couch.
But it's strange living back in America, you know. I mean, America's like a foreign country to me in a lot of ways.
Why?
I don't know. Things are weird. Like, I have friends that don't eat bread anymore. Everybody's on a low-carb diet.
Well.
And Jesus said, take this bread and eat it. It is my body. And the disciples said, Jesus, we're all on a low-carb diet. We appreciate you dying for our sins, but we're all trying to slim down a little. We want to look good in the painting.
You don't say we didn't warn you. There's laughter ahead.
You guys want to grab lunch?
We can't go anymore.
Holy
That's a
cow.
good day's work, everyone.
This is
Online.
Welcome back to the Bob and Tom Show. Christy Lee at the news desk.
Hey, chick.
There's Pat Godwin in the performance room.
Hello, chick.
There's Josh Arnold.
Chickster.
There's Ace Cosby. Hey. Willie Griswold over there.
man.
Hey, I'm Chick McGee. And here's Tom Griswold with our special guest. I did the same thing.
Yeah, I hit the button. It's not
No,
doing it.
no, I didn't hit the
My
button.
dexterity is
I
not
forgot.
working. I want to go a different direction real quick here. I was stumbling on a couple of articles, and I saw one that reminded me of a question I have for our guest, Mike Birbiglia, filmmaker, comedian, friend of the show. Let me read this story first.
Okay, sure.
Are you familiar with the singer The Weeknd? Excellent.
Yes,
excellent
I think I know this story.
Oh, I have that story.
Yeah,
and
I
I
read
just-
this one yesterday.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. The singer who calls himself The Weeknd will now be officially known online by his real name, Abel Makonnen Tesfaye. Is that how you would say that?
I don't know. How do you pronounce Tesfaye?
Tesfaye. The Canadian artist's Twitter and Instagram accounts have updated to display his real name rather than his stage name. Tesfaye told W Magazine that the change is part of a wider plan to, quote, kill the weekend.
See, this is like the story we had earlier about the Oscar Mayer Wienermobiles changing its name to the Frankmobile.
Yeah.
I mean, this always reminds me of Prince when he changed his name to that
Symbol that nobody
symbol.
knew.
That, I'm sure this record company had to be losing their mind.
Well, that was a legal tactic.
Yeah.
You know that with the Prince thing. The
Yeah.
Prince thing was he didn't want to fulfill the record things, and so he made himself a symbol.
But see, Taylor Swift did the smart thing. She just re-recorded all of her
so
albums
smart.
rather
Yeah,
than
yeah.
changing her name to a symbol no one could pronounce. But yeah, the Weeknd thing is that guy's really established. I can't imagine his fans are all going to.
And it's not a name that rolls off your tongue. No offense.
So how does this lead to Mike Birbiglia? When you started out, your name is rather ungainly. Is that fair to say?
Yes, I think ungainly is the right word.
Is that kind?
Yeah.
Were you,
No, it's ridiculous. I mean, I remember Jimmy. Okay, when I was in college, I went to the alumni house at Georgetown, and I looked up comedian. I was like, I want to be a comedian. And I look up, have there been any here? There was one, and it was Jim Gaffigan.
Oh.
And I just called him. This is the 90s. I called his landline. He's like, hello?
Yeah, that's Jim.
Hello? Hasn't changed an inch. And I go, hey, I'm a comedian. I'm in college, and blah, blah. And you go, well, if you're ever in New York, call me. I'll get lunch, and I'll give you thoughts. And so I go, I call a few days later. I took a bus to New York. I'm like, I'm here. I mean, it was literally just for that reason. I meet him at Patsy's Pizzeria on the Upper West Side, and he doesn't show up for 2 hours. And I'm just sitting there. And when I've told people this story, they go, why didn't you leave? I go, I had nowhere to go. Yeah. There wasn't a plan. There wasn't a plan B. That's why I came to New York. I was just going to stay till they closed. And he gave me a couple pieces of advice, and they were great. But the one that I didn't take him up on is he goes, you got to change that name. He goes, Birbiglia. Nobody's going to be able to say Birbiglia. And he's not wrong. But I think that here's the case for having a long name, an elaborate 9-letter Italian name, is once people get it, they remember it because it took them a second to figure it out, and they're like, I got it.
Yeah.
And then they get it.
Yeah.
That's
like
true.
Zach Galifianakis.
Galifianakis. Exactly.
That's probably the greatest example you could have.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it backfires, like Guy Fieri. People say Guy Fiero.
Yeah.
Oh,
like he's the car that catches on fire.
But I regularly have it where people, like you're saying, I walk up on stage, and go, please welcome Mike Ba, and then they're just staring at it. Blingagalung is, you go, I'm going to walk on stage now. I'm assuming that's me, and we'll go from there. But it's it's a tricky one. But the weekend, I mean, he could have transitioned to weekdays or something of a transition.
The long weekend, something
or just pick a day. Monday.
Put in that 30.
I think his parents Saturday and Sunday really feel sorrowful, but no, they're very, very sad. We have to review what we learned. We have to do Today in History.
Today in history, Tom.
Yikes. Okay, here we go.
May 18th. What happened on this day in history?
Happy birthday, John Paul. Oh, I'm sorry. Happy birthday, Pope John Paul II.
Oh.
Or as I call him, Pope John Paul Jr.
Deuce, yeah.
The great Reggie Jackson, Mr. October.
Number 44.
Would he be
44.
Mr. November today? Born in 1946. Let's see. Happy birthday, the great Tina Fey.
Mm-hmm.
Very funny. Happy birthday, the great race car driver Dario Franchitti, and he is of Italian heritage, but he is from Scotland.
That's right.
Oh.
There you go.
Happy birthday to my niece, Atlas.
Oh,
Yes.
how old is she today?
I will find out.
Sort of a hippie name,
Between
isn't it?
6 and 12. That's what I know.
If that ain't an uncle's birthday wish.
That is so funny.
Happy birthday, 1897, Bram Stoker. Oh, no, not his birthday. Sorry, that was the date he published Dracula.
Hack.
You think so?
I love that band. I want to go see him at Red Rocks.
Well, Stoker?
The Stokes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're terrific.
Very silly, Tom.
No, the Strokes are playing Red Rock.
Is that true?
Okay.
They're playing Red Rocks. Why'd you say Red Rock? Like
Red
it was
Rock,
Attorney
sorry.
General?
Red Rock. It should be. I'm sorry, Chick. We learned on today's show.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Time now for things we learned on the show. Miami Heat beat the Boston Celtics last night, game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Let's go, Jimmy Buckets.
Oh, yeah. And if they Heat win the NBA Finals, Willie wins a large sum of money.
$4,000 going to buy a dolphin. Can't wait.
Reno and Willie tonight in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Or Friday and Saturday night, Funny Bone in Dayton, Ohio tonight in Fort Wayne.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chick.
The Yankees could be cheating. Of course they are. Dust Devil. An umpire saved a young player from the Dust Devil and certain death.
It's a good video.
A little late.
It's a 7-year-old
You made a
kid.
bigger
Give him a
deal.
break.
You made a bigger deal out of it than it should have been. It was a gust of wind.
Making a bigger deal out of things is what we do.
And the kid, Josh, has cameras and tripods in his what he calls brownie basement.
My neighborhood does not care for me.
Oh, it says in paren, he invites over the neighborhood kids.
All right. That was implied enough.
Yeah,
That's
all I had.
Much.
Yeah,
This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Bob and Tom Show this morning. Get a look at today's show on our YouTube channel.